If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchased with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Oh, welcome aboard, baby. Yes, sir. We are coming to you live from beautiful Hialeah Park, where you got a shot to win a Mercedes-Benz. Yeah. All you got to do is come on down, play some games, and you'll have an opportunity to win a Mercedes-Benz. On an Alfa Romero they've given away an F-150 Lightning, and now a Mercedes-Benz. There you go. Maybe you can pick up Pebbles, and she can take a ride in your Mercedes. I probably lost like a crap ton of you guys out there with that one. You got to remember that song. That's a classic right there. Little Pebbles. She was kind of hot too, by the way. Anyway, welcome aboard. How you doing, Sean? You doing good? You feeling good? There you go. He's looking good. He's feeling good. Got to tell you, we're feeling good. We're out here at the poker room. So we're enjoying everybody out there enjoying their time at the poker room, which the ladies, by the way, serve drinks and food while you're out here at the poker room. So come on out and join us. TVs everywhere. You got some betting windows. So if you got any interest on any of the tracks around the country, got the Champions Sports Bar. It's a beautiful thing. And then all the gaming machines downstairs. Those of you that won boxing tickets, you have been told you won. I think Nelson ended up winning the buffet tickets. So good for Nelson. Yeah, Nelson. He's hardcore, always watching and supporting. So that was pretty good. I think Alexis. I think he won a pair of tickets, if I remember correctly. I think I remember that name. As there it is. Yeah, that's right. So I was right because he has it as Alex, but I think it's Alexis Palenzuela, if I'm correct. So there you go. And so appreciate all of you out there. If you won your DRL tickets, drone, by the way, for those of you going out to the Drone Racing League, send me a DM that you're out there or whatever so we can, meet or something. I would love to meet you guys out there. Always love meeting the people that, make it happen for Sean and myself and being able to do this every day of our lives and being able to bring sports talk to South Florida sports fans all over the world. I see Lisa Rose is on the chat board. And to Lisa, to everybody up in the Midwest, up in the Northeast, I hope you all are safe. I hope you all are well out there because I know several of our Americans all across from the West all the way throughout the East and the northern part of the country had to deal with some serious storms and some wicked snowstorms. So hang in there, man, because I know a lot of you are going through some hell out there. I mean, I was watching a report in Minnesota where, they're used to snowstorms, but this is going to be something of a, something we haven't seen in a long time and all that. And it's like, wow, man, places like that. When you see places like the western part of New York and they're used to brutal storms, but when they say it's going to be brutal, then it's got to be incredibly brutal for places that are normally used to handling all of that stuff, man. So please be safe out there, all of you dealing with some of the bad weather in the country, man. We are blessed down here, man. It's only hurricane season for us, and that's the only bad time for us. Overall, we don't really have to deal with too many bad things like that, like all those snowstorms and the fires, like in California and stuff like that. It's been really rough watching a lot of our and the dry the dry weather out west and how the lakes and the rivers out there are drying up. It's just crazy. Salt Lake is, I think, 60% of the Salt Lake has disappeared or something. Or no, I think it's 40% of the Salt Lake has disappeared. And the problem is, what they talk about with that. Have you followed that story that's going on in Salt Lake? The worst part about it is now, okay, that lake is even saltier than the ocean. Okay, so now when it dries up, all those minerals and all the bacteria and all the stuff that was trapped down there under the water, well, now it's going to surface, and now it's going to get into the air. And apparently, in Utah, in the city of Salt Lake, there's a large portion of folks there that are at risk that if it starts to get to the point where it's so dry that all that stuff starts to lift up and go into the air, it's going to create a lot of problems, health problems for people there in Salt Lake. I mean, that's how bad things are in different parts of the country if you keep up with it. I keep up with everything because, when you do a show like this, you don't want to just sound like you're solely in South Florida. You want to be alert about what's going on all over the world, really, because we've got listeners, all over the world, and I see it in our stats, So it's just one of those things. And I love YouTube for that I'm able to. I subscribe to TV stations all over the country, so then I'll get their newscast popping up, and it might be in Michigan, it could be in Minnesota, it could be in New York, could be in Oregon, it could be in Utah, and so I kind of take the time and check out what's going on all over the country, obviously, and every other car chase that I can find in Southern California. Although we had one here recently. We just had a crazy dude just go through a couple different parts of town, and he ended up in Hialeah. And did you see that chase? And the guy just calmly walked into his house. It's like, damn, man.
I missed that one. I know we had I was taking my daughter to school, or picking her up from school the other day early in the morning, and there was a fire in.
Oh yeah, Medley.
Yeah, Medley.
Yeah, we lost 2 people there.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, 2 people died in that Medley fire.
And then what was the news thing that?
Oh well, yesterday was in Orlando. We had a guy that went into shooting 2 different areas, and then he went back to the original crime scene where the newscaster was reporting, and he shot him and the 9-year-old. Okay. Yeah. No, it's a screwed up world, man. Screwed up world all over the place, man. So yeah. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. And Lisa, I see that in Buffalo. You're in Rochester, right? But I hear that the big cheese company is closing down over in Buffalo. You see how I keep up with crap? Yeah, there's like this big cheese company. They've been around for like 70 years, a family-owned company. And and because of inflation, because of the pandemic, because of everything, and they're closing down. As once the cheese ends, they close down. I forget the name of it, but that news. I mean, it's just like and these are notes that I have written down. It's just all here in the noggin. But yeah, I saw that story too in the. I don't know if it's Buffalo or somewhere right in that area, but yeah. I saw that story. Lisa says ours was only like 4 to 5 inches of snow, but the ice on top of it is what's bad. Driving horrible last night. Lots of power outages, but we're okay otherwise. Good to hear. And driving in that weather is a bitch. Okay, is a bitch. I had to do it once, and I hope to never do it again. Don't get sick on me on the road. Okay. All right. I've had one guy that had to have a stone pass once on the road. I've had another guy that got sick as a dog. I've had some interesting road trips with some of my producers in the past. Tough bitch, man. One guy and I know because I've had the kidney stone twice. He had a kidney stone, and he was still doing the show. He was still engineering. I was like, I don't know how you're doing this. I don't know how you're doing this. You're out of your mind. Don't worry, it'll pass. It'll pass. Nelson's there. Thank you, buffet, bro. There next to Sean, going through the buffet all times, man.
Couple times.
Yeah, couple times. There's no doubt it'll be a couple times.
All the guy kept saying last time was like, another one.
Yes.
Another one.
Yeah,
it's like, yes, sir.
Hell yeah. They do a good job with the buffet here, man.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So it is. Cap for Life says, we are all on borrowed time. Choose wisely with what we do with it. Hard. Yeah. Amen. Amen. You're right about that, my friend. You are right. Rosendo says, good afternoon, Big O Nation. May your sacrifice this Lent season remind you of your dependence on others and for all the blessings you enjoy. May you find peace. Bless you, Big O and Mr. Stanley. Thank you, Rosendo, as always, for your kind words. Always, you bring that strong. All right, so we got Alan Poopart joining us in hour number 2, by the way. Hour number 3, Franco Panizo from Miami Total Football will join us to get a little preview of Inter Miami. Remember, they start this weekend on the 25th. They host Montreal at the stadium. So there you go. I'll be at the Drone Racing League on the 25th. Yeah, attendance? No, I think Inter will have really good attendance the first game. Yeah, the first game they will have. I don't know about after that. You know, it all depends, and it's up to them to play well and play better. But I'm kind of excited for the inner season to see with some of the pieces that they've added. And, you know, we'll talk to Panizo in hour number 3. I never thought this Messi thing was ever going to happen or even come close to it, but I haven't seen him do anything in Europe. And the season's going to start soon. And sign any other. So his deal expires in the summer. And I know this, Moss will pay because he knows what it's going to mean to his team. The only thing is, how long will it take for the new stadium? Because you really want him in the new stadium.
Yeah, but you also, when you talk to, I think Panizo as well as Michelle, they both said it's not just Inter Miami that wants him.
Right.
It'll be good for the MLS.
Yeah, but
everything there, you know.
I think he wants Miami.
Oh no,
more than
I mean Miami's the landing spot. I don't think MLS will sign him for anywhere else, but they're going to make sure. You know, I'm just saying. You know, Moss will pay, but I think the MLS will make sure. Hey, look, if we can get Messi, we'll get you what you need. Also, I believe there's going to be some.
Oh yeah, like they did with Beckham and stuff. Yeah.
There's going to be some things that are going to have to be hashed out because, again, I don't think they can give the money that. You know, maybe, others may, but
maybe you give them the rights to an expansion team.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly, or a partnership in Miami too, because he loves Miami. I mean, I'm throwing out spitballing things.
When he got the expansion to Miami, it was at $100 million, and they gave it to him for 25. Okay, now it's $500 million.
Good for 100.
So, no, they probably will give it to him for like 25 or 50 on a real discount. So hey, look, this is $500 million we're giving you.
Yeah.
So you have $500 million, okay? So your salary is going to be $20 million behind Moss or whatever. You're not going to make what you were making in Europe, but here's where you're going to make your money. You're going to be one of our owners, and so then that's where he can then say, okay, good, because you know, then whenever he does his team, there'll be people.
You know, every time that he's on. The eyes are going to be on. Regardless.
Oh my God, the world's eyes are
exactly. That's on. It's not just.
And we
MLS,
work there, so we know the international that that team actually has like an international.
Probably more international.
Yeah,
than
the
local.
national. Yeah,
You know,
because we're not on board yet.
No.
It's only like.
No, I mean, Panizo and Michelle and them do a great job, but
and Alex Windley.
Yes, Alex Windley as well. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry, Alex.
Alex does an excellent job. We love her work. So yeah, no, I'm with you there. Oh. My alarm is sounding. Yes. I got to start mining. I mine. I don't know about you guys, but I mine. I mine at work. Yeah, baby. Okay. There you go. Got about 9 minutes left till I start mining. Let's see. Big O, when you're done, come down to Mexico City. Stay in touch. Would be great to do a Big O show at a bar who hosts the Dolphins to watch the game here in Mexico City. Louis, I'll be in Mexico City next September. Not this September, but next September in 2024. I'll be there during football season, actually. I'm going there because Metallica is playing for 2 nights. So I'll be in Mexico City for 4 nights. Just like I'm going to Montreal in August for Metallica. This August for Montreal. Next year, in the 24th, late of 24 in September, I'll be in Mexico City, actually. So that's one of my things. I've always wanted to go to a metal concert in Central and South America. So I cannot wait to be in that atmosphere in Mexico City with Metallica in Estadio Azteca. Cannot wait, dude. That is going to be freaking awesome. I got a little Billy Joel in the background. I like that. So we'll see you there, brother. We'll see you there in a little over a year. If Messi signs here, it would be possible to use the Hard Rock until the stadium is built. There will be a huge demand for the games. That's a great idea on your part, dude. Never thought of that. Wow, Troy. That's strong. Now, here's the question. There's 2 billionaires going, well, you got to use my stadium. I want this much. And then he's like, no, screw you, bro. I'm bringing the whole team and Messi. No. You get a cut. At least you get the event and you'll get some money out of it. But we're not going to give you, we got things to pay. And so you can either overcharge in a smaller stadium and sell it out completely. Okay. You could probably get some permits to build more seats if you felt
they could corner in those areas and have walk-through tunnels. They're set up pretty good to where I believe they could do that.
Yeah. And we're talking about the Moss brothers.
Yes.
They put that stadium up in 8 months.
And also they can reorganize some of the areas to make more seating,
If they felt like it.
Yeah.
They can eliminate the end zones and bring them back as double deckers.
Yeah.
If they felt like it.
Yeah.
If they felt like doing that, they could do that, and they'll get it cleared and right away and all that stuff. But the problem will be the greediness behind both ownership groups. And it's not really greediness, it's just hardcore business.
Yeah.
So
parking.
Right.
It's like what the Canes go through, right? In a way.
Right.
I mean, they don't. I'm sure the Canes don't get parking, right?
I'm sure they get a percentage,
but not like what it would.
Right. They're not making the
if
kind
you
of
got
money.
Messi playing there, you're getting pretty good parking.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, they'll have 40 plus for every game.
At least
40 plus for every game with Messi.
Because that holds what, 71?
Yeah, I don't know. No. It's in the 50s now. Remember, they eliminated
that's
the
right.
corners.
They did eliminate the corners.
15,000. So it's in the 55, 57.
So, I wouldn't.
They would get to 40 plus in every
easily.
Every game. Yeah. There's
And
no
then
doubt.
You bring in some other big name. Some of the other names that are bigger in MLS.
Right.
You might get that as well.
Right.
Because a lot of those teams travel well. I mean, with Inter Miami, we saw it. I mean, that whole the traveling stands were always
Orlando travels well. LA travels well. Yeah, you're right. So it would be crazy if they do it. Dougie Fresh says, I just read that Justin Bieber was recently paid $200 million. Yes, we talked about it for his music rights. How did we get here? I don't know what to tell you, baby. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, he got a lot of money. Poor kid. I know he's also dealing with some kind of condition that he's got now. I know that he's health-wise. I know he's not really all there. I know he's dealing with some stuff. I forgot what it is, but I know he's going through some personal stuff that's it's not easy for him. Glue Glass says, I live in Indy. You will be anywhere where your fans here could meet. Oh, yeah. I'll be in Indy I get there Tuesday, and I'm there till Saturday. So I'll be doing a show every morning, like the normal show. It won't change because the beauty of Indy is really my work is late in the afternoon and the evenings. It's not really during the day. I don't care about going to the stadium and watching idiots run a 40 and do a shuttle and do the gauntlet and throw the ball. I don't care about that shit. If I went to go do that, then I'd just stay home, and put on the clock. It's like it's the world. I'm up there to meet with NFL people and agents, for information. That's where I'm at. For that. So I will have afternoons open that I can. I remember a couple years ago, I met with a couple of listeners at a bar somewhere. So we'll probably meet somewhere. I'll probably pick somewhere like PF Chang's, in that area there, that block there. I forgot the name of that block, but there's all those little restaurants and bars right there. We probably can meet somewhere there, and I'll tell you guys, maybe we can meet. Those of you that live in the Indy area, we can meet on, Wednesday or Thursday afternoon or something like that. Have some lunch, talk some shit, and have some fun. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll plan for something like that next week. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on Tuesday's show. We'll do that. Breaking news: Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I saw he left his retreat. I saw it. He is he's out. His 4 days are up, and he's done. So yeah, huh? Now he has seen the light. Now he has seen the light. After being in the dark for so long, he now sees the light. So yes. Any thoughts on Caleb Williams wanting to play for the Dolphins? He mentioned that yesterday. None of it means anything, bro. You know what I mean? Until we actually get to free agency and get to all of that.
There's a question they asked the college kid. I mean, he's at USC. And in order for the Dolphins, in a perfect world to draft him, one of two things happens. And they're not good for Dolphin fans either way you look at it, because that
free
means
agency or the draft. We just got to wait till it gets here, bro.
But he also said that he liked what Mike McDaniel was doing, what the Dolphins were doing with all the weapons on offense. That was the reason he wanted to come. They just asked him, like, if you could pick your team to get drafted to, who would it be? He picked the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He said the Dolphins. I like what they're doing.
It's cool that he picks the Dolphins. Yeah. And it kind of goes off of what I wanted to talk about today. And I'm going to get into it because I'm going to get into something for Dolphin fans that I think we need. We need to discuss something that I have here on it, and we will for sure. I want to get into it. By the way, tomorrow we're going to be at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines, baby. They've always got some great deals going on, a great selection of brand new and certified pre-owned vehicles. So make sure you go check that out. Also, I want to give you guys an opportunity to take part in a great event on Saturday, March 4th. And Sports Grill is all behind it. They do a great job. And it's the Wings for Wishes Miami.com. I want you to check it out. Wings for Wishes, by the way, is a unique South Florida event combining the love of delicious chicken wings, which, Sports Grill's got some delicious chicken wings, with the desire to grant children's wishes through a Make-A-Wish Southern Florida. Our 9th annual Wings for Wishes will take place on Saturday, March 4th. Our family-friendly block party approach will feature now the famous amateur wing eating competition. Renowned chicken wing tasting and returning will be the crown favorite Major League Eating Professional Wing Eating Competition. Guests will enjoy savory food stations featuring delicious recipes from some of South Florida's favorite restaurants, along with a wide range of refreshing beverages, mouth-watering desserts, live music, family fun activities, an award presentation, and over 2,000 enthusiastic attendees for the perfect recipe for another sensational Wings for Wishes. All right, we got an amateur eating competition, teams of 4 to compete to eat 50 wings at the fastest time. And in the sanctioned Major League Eating competition, competitors have 10 minutes to eat the most wings possible, measured in weight, but they also will count the wings for headlines, too, at the same time. Now, if you want to be a part of this, folks, you can use our code BIG-O, and the first 30 listeners who want to purchase tickets, you're going to get 20% off. So use the code BIG-O, get 20% off, all right? And if you want to offer 2 free tickets to a first responder, we can do something like that too, right? So we'll see if we can try to find out about any first responders too. I want to do something like that. But anyway, if you want to go to it, by the way, 30 listeners right now, the first 30 listeners, use our code BIG-O. Go to wingsforwishesmiami.com. Wingsforwishesmiami.com. And it goes for charity, so you're helping out a Make-A-Wish. And probably write it off, too, because you're making a donation, right? I think that's kind of the way it goes. So there you go. You're going to get discount tickets. There's food. There's entertainment. Yeah. And you can watch those people eat those crazy amount of wings.
And it's a great time for kids. Everything's set up for the kids. They have a big area where, with the...
You been to it?
Yeah. I missed out on one of the teams, but I came in 5th place.
Nice.
And they did a contest, and it was for DJ Williams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you listen, this is a great event. Use our code so you can get 20% off. And that way you can enjoy it. Wingsforwishesmiami.com. Use our code BIG-O. And you're going to be making somebody's wish happen eventually with your little donation that you make there. Just buying a ticket, you're going to help a child, achieve a wish. That is freaking awesome. Okay? So there you go. All right.
And they also have a lot of beer stations set up for you as well.
Oh, they do. Mm-hmm. A lot of beer stations.
Ooh. Yeah. And they go along with the different wings because they know the different sauces. So now you've got, this is good with this sauce. This is good with it.
Okay.
It's a good time for the kids and the adults.
All right. Makes it sound like why I go to the youth fair now. The food.
It really is. I went and I was like, the kids are having a great time. Then we hit the one little strip and it was beers and wings and it was all right.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Even darkness doesn't want to be alone with a Raj. Jayhawk says, breaking after seeing the light, Aaron Rodgers has decided he will play for another NFL team. More on that later. Now back to talking balloons and missiles. There you go. I prefer the Dolphins win a Super Bowl than get Caleb Williams in the 2024 draft. Brother, right now it doesn't matter what they say in the draft, what they say in free agency. None of that matters. We'll find out eventually what's going to happen and who's going to get what. Once we get a little closer and we'll get more information, then we can have more of, more substance, conversations with substance, Caleb Williams is the next can't miss QB if he goes pro for the 2024 draft. Somebody's going to tank for him. Dolphins have no shot. No, they don't. They have no shot because they'll be too good next year. No shot. So not worried about Caleb Williams at all. And you know what? Maybe let me get into it a little bit here. Let me get into a little Dolphins talk because I think that we've got and I've talked about this in the past that our past as Dolphin fans has clouded us. And look, let me tell you, I've been covering the Dolphins for over 30 years. And over the last 20, I haven't had a lot of good things to say much about them. I haven't had many moments that I really believe much in them at all, to be quite honest. I might have gotten excited for a very short time with Jimmy Johnson and with Saban and with Parcells, but that quickly fizzled. I mean, quickly when I noticed what was going on, it was like, doesn't really done. And then all the other things that we can talk about from Adam Gase to Cam Cameron to Flo and whatever, all this crap that we've had here for years. And I've never, front office, all the mess that we had with Wanstead and Spielman and everything that we had going on with Ireland and Parcells and then Tannenbaum and all. I never really believed in any of this stuff. And over the years, I had a lot of Dolphin fans that would just get pissed at me because I just could not see any light at the end of the tunnel with any of that, right? And then now it's the reverse for me. And this is the first time in decades that I feel this way. And I am not going to allow the negative media, okay, because that's what we have, unfortunately. The media is normally negative. The editors are normally negative. The producers are normally negative. The editors are normally negative. The executive producers are normally negative. Why? Because that's what gets headlines. They don't want to really put, and to start the newscast, a fireman saving a dog. No. They want to put a guy shooting a fireman, shooting a 9-year-old child. That's what they need. If it bleeds, it leads. And, like I'm watching MSNBC, and there was like a little Bitcoin dip, right? It went from 24.8 to down to 23.8, 23.7. It's not much, but then I'm watching the headlines. What does this Bitcoin dip mean? Is it going to go lower? What is this? Thing from the SEC? Is crypto dead? And then it was like 3 headlines, and they were all negative, right? And this is what it's all about. It's about finding the negative angle. It's about finding the negative side to a political story, or you politicize the story. It's about scaring people. This is what we do, right? And with the Dolphins, man, the whole thing is just about negativity. And to me, I think the Dolphins right now are all about positivity. That's the way I look at it. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it completely different than the average media person. I think the Dolphins are very close. I think the fact that they added Vic Fangio, who's now going to better that staff the way McDaniels bettered the offensive staff, I think you become an incredibly sexy destination for players, for agents. Not sexy because you're Miami, not sexy because there's sun year round, not sexy because you're a no tax state. Yeah, that's always been there. That's why Ndamukong Suh came down here. He didn't come because they were winning. When they asked him, well, the Dolphins are very progressive. That was his quote. Yeah, he couldn't talk about actual football because there's nothing to talk about. You have the number 1 rated passer. I don't care what anybody says. This kid can figure things out, and he can stay healthy. This offense can be really special. And I know these guys and the front office are going to tweak what you saw last year on offense and make it even better. And I have faith. McDaniel's a smart dude. You know, he's no dummy. He's going to see how many times he screwed up mismanaging the game last year, and he's going to fix that. He's smart enough to fix it. I have faith in this front office to shore up what they need to shore up. I have faith that they can move the money around to make it all happen. I have faith that Tua can stay healthy and figure things out. You know, to me, the Dolphins are in the best shape they've ever been in since way back in the Shula era. This is a team that has all the potential to have great success. They just need to tweak a couple of things here or there, and more than anything, and I don't care what anybody tells me, for me, it was all about bad luck last year. Weird things happen, weird injuries. I mean, Tua normally suffers injuries, and it was all about head trauma, about falling the wrong way or getting slammed and all that stuff. And it's not something that he dealt with his entire career until this year. So you can figure things out, not just because of judo. It's getting rid of the ball early and all those things. I've talked about it. I've proved it over and over again that all his injuries come pretty much between 4 and 5 seconds of holding on to the ball. So you can avoid all of that stuff by not holding the ball for 4 or 5 seconds. And don't do it so much, because that's how it happens. It isn't only those specific times that he held it for 4 or 5 seconds. It's other times that he's trying to make a play, and sure he does. But again, you're also putting yourself and your body at risk. And it's really easy, and it's really lazy by the media to always focus on the negative. And because of you, they do it. Because the negative is what gets you to read it. The negative is what gets you to watch it, and the negative is what gets you to talk about it. The positive stuff, you just cast it aside, dude. You don't care about saving the dog. You don't care that if they tell you, hey, this Dolphin offense is really good. Hey, man, Big Fangio is going to take the defense to the next level. Players are going to want to come play here for him. Why talk about the stuff that actually will not give you the same amount of clicks? Just like this rant won't get me the same amount of hits, reviews, or downloads unless I'm ripping somebody from the Dolphins for the next 5-7 minutes. Yeah, then I'll get triple the downloads. And that's really easy and lazy too. And also, it's manipulative because it's really not the truth. This is a really good team that got to the playoffs with almost nothing left. Okay? And they got that nothing, and they should have still beat the Buffalo Bills in that first round. So how am I not supposed to be pumped up about a team that was injury-riddled, and if they were healthy, they would have won that game, and they would have beat Buffalo 3 weeks prior to? That's the part that, to me, that's the part that pisses me off and frustrates me. That after all these years of a lot of bad stuff happening, last year wasn't about bad, it was just bad luck. It wasn't bad coaching all the time. It wasn't bad management. It wasn't bad ownership. It wasn't anything about that. It was about every terrible break you could possibly get. That's what happened to you last year. And I'm not going to allow that to cloud what I potentially feel is happening right now that I've never felt in the last 25 years. And I don't believe you should too as a Dolphins fan. Let me explain to you what's going to happen, okay? I'm jacked now for this offseason. You got one of the best offensive minds in football. People are going to be excited to be a part of this offense. You got now one of the best defensive minds in football. Defensive players are going to want to be part of this. You got a QB that's a player. He's a winner. I get that he's had the injury stuff, but you can overcome that. But the bottom line is he's a player and he's a winner. You can't take that away from Tua. That's what he is, right? And it's so easy to lean on the negative. Now we got free agency coming up. These guys in the front office have done a marvelous job. Why can't they keep doing that? And you've got the draft coming, and I get you're not heavy on picks, but you still got your second rounder and your 2 third rounders. You can make some noise there and get some impactful players to help you out right away, hopefully, this year. The defense will be now on the rise. It's going to be a lot better than it was last year because you have one of the 3 best defensive coordinators in the last 15 years in this league. Now we got free agency. We got the draft coming up. We got Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I refuse to allow anybody to create this thing like it's, teetering on hell and all that, or it's going to be terrible. I'm terrified of the season. No, I am super excited. What happened this past year made me more excited about this coming season because last year's team got cheated out of what they could have been, out of pure bad luck, out of the fact that Byron Jones mishandled and I don't know if he even cared about coming back or not. I don't know. But then watching Nick Needham go down and Brandon Jones go down, and we can go on and talk about all the injuries. It was depressing, dude. But it wasn't because they were bad. It wasn't because they were incompetent. It wasn't because they don't have good coaching. It wasn't because they don't spend or anything like that. And to me, that's what I want the Dolphin fan to look at, that this team had all the bad breaks. It wasn't that it was a bad team. And injury-riddled and all, a young first-year coach took the Buffalo Bills to the brink in that first round. And if that doesn't tell you, or if that doesn't inspire you for the 2023 season, that if they add the right pieces and they get a little luck, that people stay healthy. I know you're going to have an injury or two, but not 15 injuries. I just think that this team, sky's the limit. And I refuse to allow the negativity that I see from the media on a constant, I don't care if it's the entertainment, music, crypto, sports, politics, it doesn't matter. They all swing the same way, dude. What negative thing can I write or talk about so I can get a response? So my editors and my producers are happy with the activity on the channel. Don't let them do that, man. Yes, sir.
No, I was going to ask you another thing, too, is with Fangio there, how much better of a play caller is that going to make Mike McDaniel? And then also Tua having to go against Fangio every day,
right,
in practice, and then also having Fangio help maybe possibly film. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I mean it's there for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what's it called? McDaniel's not an ego guy. That's why he brought Fangio, because he doesn't have an ego. And so if Fangio, hey man, I'm noticing this. Oh, hey, thanks, coach. I appreciate that. That's the way he's going to look at it. What did Rosendo just say? Let me go back. You remember?
He's got a couple different comments in there.
No, but his one and only comment that he does during, here he goes. He says, may your sacrifice this Lent season remind you of your dependence on others and for all the blessings you enjoy. And he is right. And it doesn't matter who you are, you're dependent on others. If you're the head coach, you are depending on your assistant coaches, your scouts, your front office, your players to help you and contribute. your success, right? Josh Boyer contributed last year by finding Kader Kohu, right? And developing him, by the way. So you got to be egoless if you're Chris Greer or you're Mike McDaniel, because that's what leaders should be. Leaders, you lead, but you also lead by allowing people around you to grow and be better, because that's how you're better, and that's kind of what you have to do. So to me, there's a lot of positives, man. A lot of positives with the Dolphins. I just refuse to allow this negativity to cloud us. You don't need it. That's all I can say. Let's see. Big O, I haven't felt like this about the Fins in 30 years since Marino was drafted. The last time I witnessed this was when the Bills hired Marv Levy and they got Jim Kelly. Fins are close now. I agree. People don't want to, they're so beaten up with the past, man. So beaten up with the past, and this doesn't reflect anything of the past at all. And so, yeah, I saw Marcel, Mr. Negativity, yesterday. Did you see that? Oh, he says it's not a good idea to give Tua the fifth-year option. Huh.
Was that on his run when he stopped and turned around?
Yeah, that's right. Get on an elliptical. So, yeah, apparently he threw that out there. Oh, they shouldn't pick up the fifth-year option. Are you kidding me, dude? Of course you pick up the fifth-year option. Let's see. Big O, entire Dolphin team showed heart last year when the chips were down. This is very encouraging going into this year. I agree. Dougie Fresh says a famous quote on leadership: strong leaders work every day to make themselves less necessary, not more. Exactly. You are correct. Yep. Let's see. They were literally in every game, no matter who was in or out. Go watch the games from the past season. This team fought and battled until the end of every game. I agree. I'm telling you, man. That's the part I was thinking about, last night. I'm like, it's just so freaking negative, and I don't understand why. I don't understand how we don't have great momentum instead as Dolphin fans. And I'm not talking about clouded judgment or anything like that. I'm talking about the facts, dude. You got a hell of an OC. You got a hell of a DC now. You got a quarterback that if he figures his stuff out, you're going to have an incredible offense. And in today's game, you got to have an incredible offense. And I think they're going to get better this year. They're closer to solving the line than they have been in a long time, because they've got 3 of the 5 spots, really 4. Because if you is any Dolphin fan really going to complain about Brandon Shell? The dude got injured at, more bad luck at the end of the year. But if not, Brandon Shell did a really nice job at right tackle. Technically, I could say you got 4 of your 5 spots filled. When the hell can you say that with the Dolphins? Do you need to go get maybe a more experienced swing tackle to kind of help out just in case for Tehran? Okay, I get it. And the left guard position has got to be resolved somehow. I get all of that. But they're closer than they've ever been. The 2 running backs really complemented each other last year. Maybe what you do is you find a third back that is a badass to go along with those 2 guys, and that way you have like a trio that you're attacking people with constantly. Upgrade over Salvon Ahmed or something. I don't know. But to make it sound like this is like this incredible uphill battle and the Dolphins this, and they may not have that much cap space. Oh, man, they've got enough cap space to make whatever moves they need to re-sign the people. They can move money around. People do this all the time in this league. I just don't understand it. I am more jacked about the Dolphins. I'm more jacked about this Dolphin offseason. I am super excited. I'm dying to find out who's going to get tagged, who's going to get released, and all, so we can really get heavy into the free agent conversation. And then obviously we'll have the draft and we'll start talking about the draft and we'll have some fun with all of that. I'm looking forward to all of this. And we're also going to Sean and I will be in Canton to cover, Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then I'm excited about, what's going to happen in the preseason. Skyler will have another year under his belt to develop. He at least showed you something there in that Buffalo game. Looking forward to that. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to be that negative like people out there. I see a lot of potential with this team, a ton of potential, and they've been closer than they've been in forever. Some of you, they're closer now than they've ever been in your lifetime. That's how crazy it is. Young people right now, this is the closest they've ever seen to having a really good Dolphins team. And they would have had it last year if it wasn't for the stinking injuries. I truly feel that secondary stays healthy. That defense is completely different. Josh Boyer is looked at completely different by a lot of you out there. Let's see. Oh, I know it sounds crazy with all the team needs, but would you trade for Ramsey? No, they don't need to trade for Ramsey. That's too much money. At this point, it's not worth it. What you have to give up and what you're inheriting and that contract, no, not at all. That makes no sense whatsoever. Let's see. Of course, Tua needs to play healthy. That's obvious. He's going to have this year to prove if he can stay healthy, but win a playoff game. This is a big year for his career. Yeah, it is. Big O, agree with you on this 100%. At that number, picking up Tua's option is a no-brainer. Yeah, $22.5 million, that's nothing. In today's game, that's nothing. Fins can restructure deal and cut players to create as much as $50 million in cap space. Yeah, that's why I don't go with this, negative, oh my God, they're in a really tough space they're in a tough space that they don't have a lot to trade. That I agree with. I've said that for a while now. They don't have a lot of chips. They're not going to be in the trade market. Okay, that's not going to happen. But they can make moves and sign in free agency, and they've got some pretty good picks. They got 3 in the top 100. They've got a second and 2/3. They got a 6th and a 7th rounder. We don't know what position they're in yet because they haven't announced the compensatory picks. And then when they announce that, then all the numbers settle and we'll know exactly the spot they're in. But they have a 6th and a 7th rounder. Not going to be early picks anyways because they were, in the playoffs. So it's in the back end. So it doesn't really matter. But they're the kind of team that kind of hits on 6th and 7th rounders too. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of those 2 picks is somebody that contributes, to this team. They have an opportunity to make a lot of, and by the way, Nick Needham, you'll get Trill Williams back this year, Kader Kohu. Are you going to find another guy in the street? Vernon McKinley actually, played all right. Maybe he's got a future, and you didn't draft him either. Maybe the tight end that dropped the 2 passes but runs like a deer. Maybe now he turns the corner this year. Tanner Connor, I have no idea. But they find guys. Sealer off the street. Brandon Shell off the street. I don't know how people do not feel good about this team. I have no idea. When you got a front office that can find talent, undrafted, street free agents, drafting, free agency. I mean, I really struggle with this. This is the best Dolphins front office and coaching staff combination you've had in over a quarter century. And you're going to take a negative outlook to the Dolphins? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. I'm super jacked about this season. And I know it's only February, but I just think we have a lot to be grateful about. And I think that they finally have got a franchise headed in the right direction, something I haven't been able to say in over 2 decades. And I know I drove a lot of you crazy. Some of you probably never came back to support my shows or anything like that because you were so pissed over the years. Some people probably think, oh, he's just negative, you know. And no, I'm just brutally honest, and I'm being brutally honest here. I have never felt better about this franchise, and I wish more Dolphin fans felt like I did. That's all. What can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What can I tell you? I can tell you that Nature B is for me, and right now we got a great deal going on with Nature B, folks. We got a 200 cap, 100-day supply, because you take 2 a day, by the way, and it's only $85. That's right, $85, and you've got it for 200 days. I mean, for 100 days. That's over 3 months. For 85 cents a day, you get over 3 months of coverage, right? You're going to boost that immune system. You're going to have extra energy in the afternoon. You're going to have highlight and libido, allergy relief, less stress, helps you in muscle recovery. I mean, and in today's virus-filled world, my God, Nature B helps out. I rarely have a cold. Okay, you see it. I say it all the time. You know, my buddy goes to me the other day, goes, dude, you say that every time in the Nature B commercial, and you're going to jinx yourself. And I'm like, dude, you know, I've been doing this for 20 years saying this. So if I was going to jinx myself, I would have jinxed myself years ago. There's no jinxing. It's just that's the way it is. I attribute the lack of colds to Nature B. And I'm telling you, and we're going to give you, when you order it, you go to natureb.com/Big O. All right. Natureb.com/Big O. We're also going to give you a free Manuka honey lip balm. All right. So if you're in a dry area or it's really cold and, you know, you need the lip balm, your lips are getting chapped, the free Manuka honey lip balm, it is awesome. So we're throwing that in for free. And all you get is that you get the 200 cap supply, $85 for 100 days for over 3 months. And you're going to feel it starting in that second week of taking Nature B. I think that's when you really start to feel it, and you'll feel the difference. And then, you know, from there on out, you're going to go, okay, now I see what he's talking about. By the way, ladies, stronger nails, fuller hair. Well, maybe some of you guys, if, you still want to have some hair, fuller hair, stronger nails, that also is a possibility there. Clean Green New Zealand, that's where it's grown. Natural plant pollen has so many benefits. Go to natureb.com/Big O and use our code. Well, just once you go to natureb.com/Big O, that's it right there. 200 cap supply, 100 days, $85 in the free Manuka honey lip balm. natureb.com/Big O. Big O, what's your secret to your lustrous hair and complexion? Nature B? I'll go with the hair. Nature B's got to help me out because I've been taking it for 20 years. 21 years now, by the way. Yeah, I would go with that. Although I got to say, my red light therapy hat is helping because obviously I got some hair here in the area where I normally had the human yarmulke. So the human yarmulke was developing, and now I'm reversing the human yarmulke with my hat from Red Recover. So yeah, that would also help out too. I don't know about my complexion. I don't think I have good complexion, but EJ Burrow, thank you very much. Let's see. Big O, this is the best Dolphins team since '84. Maybe the early 90s teams were pretty good too, man. It's just the Bills were so awesome back then. Cap for Life says, I'm doing the reverse psychology role until it's bleeping working. 25 years, it's got to work this time. Oh, you're talking about the Dolphins? What else do we have? Jayhawk says, Cap for Life, agree. As a fan, I'm hopeful, but it's been 2 decades plus since we won a playoff game. I'm not going to be a blind fan. No, I don't think, believing in Tannehill is a blind-ass fan. Believing in Cam Cameron is a blind-ass fan. Believing in Adam Gase is a blind-ass fan. Okay? There's a lot of things that you can't believe in. You know what I'm saying? I believe in these guys. I think it wasn't about them choking. It wasn't about them being bad. It was about them having terrible luck. I'm sorry. That's what I saw. I saw every bad break in the book, from them taking out Teddy Bridgewater in a game that he never was concussed. I mean, think about the stupid shit that also happened to the Dolphins that screwed them over. Who's to say the Dolphins don't win that game if Teddy stays in that game? Skyler wasn't ready for that moment. It's unfair to him to put him in there. As an athlete, I'm sure he's going to take on any challenge because that's what he's supposed to do. But it's still unfair to the young man. I refuse to give in to the negativity, because I think the negativity comes from pure laziness. And it's so easy to do it, and it's so easy to get clicks. It's so easy to get views when you're negative. Because people love that, bro. They love to complain. Love it, bro. A lot of you love it when I'm ripping somebody. Too funny. Anyway. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, the Heat are off till Friday. Panthers are also off till tomorrow. They take on the Sabres. Barkov, Sam Bennett, and Eric Stahl are all game-time decisions tomorrow. Got that going on. What else do we have going on? Bro, and they fire. How many jobs has Nate McMillan been fired from? Right? Doesn't it seem like he's been fired by 8 head coaching jobs? Look it up, because I know some of them are interim. He took over for somebody and then they didn't keep him, or they kept him for an extra year and then fired him.
But you knew his time was numbered, right?
Yeah.
When you were going against Trey Young, or I almost said Trey Lance. Trey Young. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to be the case. But wow, dude. And then you see that they're talking. They're talking about Quinn Snyder or Emi Udoka. Really, you're going to bring Udoka in like that? Really? Although Quinn Snyder, I like Quinn Snyder. I thought he did an awesome job at Utah. But if I'm Quinn Snyder, my God, you got to go coach Trae Young? Trey's it's such an interesting talent, but are you efficient? And are you coachable? And that's kind of what it comes off as. It's not very coachable. It's not. It doesn't work. This was my argument with the silliness with Russell Westbrook. How many more times do you have to see that he's an inefficient player? Why would you want him on your team? You know what I mean? And Heat fans that wanted him on their team, I never understood it. I never got it. I don't know how that would make you excited. To me, it was going to just become another problem for the Heat. That's kind of the way I looked at it. Anyway, all right, 1 hour down. We got 2 more to go. We're coming to you live, baby, from Hialeah Park. We're in the second floor poker room. Come on out, man, and playing the game in the machines downstairs, because you will automatically be entered to win a Mercedes-Benz. How about that? So if you want a chance at winning a Mercedes-Benz, make sure you get on down here, man, to Hialeah Park. Check it out. They've already given away an Alfa Romero. That was really nice. A Ford F-150, and now a Mercedes-Benz. Friday, we've got the boxing matches. Guillermo Regandao, by the way, he was front page in the Herald today. Guillermo.
He's out there setting up the ring and everything right now.
Yeah.
Under things.
Yeah. So it's a great night. Some of you already won some tickets. Hopefully Steve will stop by. We'll talk a little boxing with him, and we'll have some fun. But, a lot of things going on at Hialeah Park. Hour number 2, mastered by Sean Stanley, is next.
celebration. You need a cheer. Up to the rim they go through the sweeper. Looks like Vader was leading. Killian going down to the square gate. Another mid-air.
Yeah!
Woo! Yeah, I was so lucky. I was so lucky. Oh my God. It's me, baby! It's me! It's baby time! Let's go, baby! Woo!
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
point statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. Welcome back. Hour number 2 from beautiful Hialeah Park, where you got a chance to win a beautiful Mercedes-Benz. They've got it right downstairs. Right downstairs, when you come in on the first floor, that's where they had the Alfa Romeo parked. That's where they had the Ford F-150 Lightning parked. And now they've got the Mercedes-Benz, so you can check it out. Peebles is not in the Mercedes-Benz. You're going to have to go find her and give her a ride in your Mercedes-Benz. That's what you're going to have to do. Anyway, let's see. I picked the wrong day to stop smoking. This is tripping me out. Okay. Did you pick the wrong day to stop sniffing glue and drinking alcohol and all that other good stuff? There you go. I like it. Let's see. I like to if he stays upright. I agree. We have a shot, but I do pretend he's been unavailable his entire career. Geez, guys, slow down. Well, that's true. I get all of that, but I think it's something that you can figure out. Other people have been able to figure out injury history and make it better for themselves, and others haven't been able to. Hopefully, he goes the way of Fred Taylor did. Fred Taylor had an injury-riddled career his first, 4 years, and then went on like a 7-year run with very little setbacks whatsoever, and was a rock and put together what could be as a Hall of Fame career, overall. He was a special player, man. He can play, dude. Eric Bieniemy. Let me get into Eric Bieniemy. He had his press conference, and I got to tell you something. I'm not a Redskins fan by any stretch whatsoever. Oh, I'm sorry, a Commanders fan. That's right. By any stretch whatsoever. But I will say this: I am kind of pulling for them, and I am pulling for Eric Bieniemy. He's one of the guys that I'm pulling for. Bieniemy had his press conference, and he had one of the things that I talked about a couple days ago when he took the job was, I told you got to challenge yourself. Staying there with Andy Reid is what a coward would do. Because you're not you don't have any any confidence in yourself that you can survive on your own without somebody else. Or do you want to live with daddy and mommy your whole life? You got to live in your room. You can't go buy your own house, your own condo. You can't get your own car. You can't get your own job. Can't develop your own career. What's the deal? You know what I mean? Right? I mean, it's that we all go through that stage, right? That you get to that point where you start to grow up, and you also say to yourself, "Oh, I got to get out of this house." It's not that I hate my parents or anything, but I need my freedom, dude. I need my own pad. Well, then that comes with some hellish responsibilities, right? Because you've got to pay for the rent or the mortgage or insurance, and then you've got utilities, and you got all kinds of things that you've got to pay, right? In order for you to own that space. But that's part of growing up, that you detach yourself from mommy and daddy. It's basically what you're doing if you're hanging around with Andy Reid or Bill Belichick. You're hanging around with daddy the entire time. So Matt Patricia fails when he leaves the nests. And here goes Josh McDaniel failing when he leaves the nest. And Flo and Judge, they all fail when they leave the nest. Now, I commend them for at least trying. But Mike McDaniel, if he was going to leave the shadow of Shanahan, and if people are going to say, oh, no, he was really the brains behind the whole thing, well, you're going to have to go prove it, dude. Right? So you got to go out and take that challenge. Eric Bieniemy had the best line out there. Comfort is the enemy of progress. So, yeah, stay in your comfort zone. Stay in your mom's house. Stay in your dad's house. Stay in that job that, pays you. You get by. but you can't grow anymore. And those of us that don't want to grow, wow, man, you don't have any, you don't strive for more? You don't strive to better yourselves? Because I heard that a lot. Oh, no, he should stay there with Andy Reid. I hear that and I'm like, yeah, it looks like you're the kind of person also that wouldn't want to challenge yourselves. Can't be afraid to fail in life, folks. You cannot be afraid to fail in life. Failure is a part of life. Couples have sex and they don't get pregnant. And then they got to find ways to make it happen. Or maybe one or the other has an issue and they've got to fix that issue and get back on track. And, then they have it. You fall off a bike, you get back on a bike. It's the way it goes, right? Anything and everything in life comes with failure. You're learning math and you're not getting it early on, and then you figure it out. There's failure in everything. You want to be a good poker player. Well, that just doesn't happen the first time you sit down, that you know how to play the game and you understand what it means. Everybody on the table, the last person next to the dealer, what that person means to the entire table, the understanding of everything of the game, the understanding of the people around you, so you can figure out if they're bluffing or not. Although you're not going to pick that up right away. It's going to take a veteran player to step into a situation like that to then at least fend for themselves, right? And anything in life, dude, doesn't matter what you do. It starts with failure. From when you're a tot, you stand and you fall, you stand and you fall, you walk and you fall, you walk and you fall, you run and you fall, you run and you fall, and then eventually you stop falling. Unless you're my wife, she falls way too much. Anyway, but either way, failure is a part of life. Everywhere you go, and that's how you learn. That's how you grow. But if you're not willing to fail, you're not willing to grow. Because in that moment that you failed, you learn something, and then you get better from that. That's the beauty of the failure. Instead of looking at it as a negative, look at it as a challenge. Okay, what did I learn from this? How do I grow from it? And I commend Eric Bieniemy. I'm not afraid of a challenge. I've had 10 years of success with the Kansas City Chiefs. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Comfort is the enemy of progress. So I am rooting for Eric Bieniemy in a big-time way. I'm rooting for him because, there's been a lot of stuff talked about the guy, and we really don't know. But what I do know is that minorities a lot of times get the short end of the stick. And I've watched a lot of white coaches get the head coaching job from the Andy Reid tree, and this guy did not. And now he has to go to Washington in order to prove himself. And it's sad that he has to do that, but I'm glad that he's not afraid to stick it to people and say, I told you so. And if he's a good coach, he'll prove himself in Washington one way or another, and he'll build off of it. So I commend Eric Bieniemy. It's a great line. It is a great line. Let's see. What else do we have? You had predominant YouTubers out here saying Bridgewater would ball out and take Tua's job when he was playing like trash. They started saying Skyler would ball out, laughing my ass out loud. Yeah. But those people actually really didn't follow Teddy Bridgewater. That's when the people that said Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback than Tua, I could tell those people really don't watch football. Because if you really watch Teddy Bridgewater, your ass would never say something like that. You would never, ever in your life dare say that guy's better than Tua. Ever. At no point was Teddy Bridgewater ever better than Tua. None. Nada. Nay. Not even close. But I could tell that you weren't watching the guy the last few years. And, you're just saying it because you like him. He's very likable. And he's a great young man, and he's from here. That's all. But it's not because you knew anything. I clearly knew you knew nothing about Teddy Bridgewater by saying that. You exposed yourselves. You know, it happens a lot. There's a lot of people out there that talk and don't really watch the games. They might read an article here or there, and then they go off on it. Every single person that said Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback than Tua, and that now that he signed him, he's going to take his job, you never watched the game. You're a phony. So, you know, I didn't track you guys. So, you know, you can get away with it or whatever. But those of you that said it, I can tell you don't watch the game at all. And if you did, then you're really, really clueless when it comes to football. Absolutely clueless. It's Tua's last year to prove his durability for sure. If he gets hurt again and misses a lot of games, I'm afraid, yeah, you're right. It's just the way it is. Well, they'll probably add another quarterback and bring him back for that final year since they have him under contract, and he'll compete or something like that or back up or whatever. And, yeah, that's probably what will happen. You're right. Yeah, Sean Payne said Teddy would take Tua's job, but he clearly that following week Tua lit up somebody. Was it the Ravens game? I think it might have been the Ravens game, and then the idiot flip-flopped right after that. So Sean Payton is nothing but a phony. Like Sean Payton, oh no, Teddy Bridgewater better. And then Tua goes and throws 6 touchdowns. He's like, I was wrong on that one. So, remember, Sean Payton is the guy right now deciding between Rex Ryan and Matt Patricia to be his defensive coordinators. Let me get into that, by the way. I saw that today in that story. That Sean Payton now is interviewing Matt Patricia. I'm convinced this is going to be a disaster. I'm convinced that Sean Payton is going to be a disaster with the Denver Broncos. Okay? Like I'm 100% convinced now of this. Like this is not going to work out. I mean, I just saw it as like, so you're down to Rex Ryan and Matt Patricia. Really? That's what you're interviewing for you went from Fangio to those guys? So you couldn't get Fangio? And you're going to go with Sexy Rex or Bird's Nest Face Matt Patricia?
It's because there's no money to offer. He took all the coaching budget so he could have him say, no, he's just bringing on Rex. You want to come back?
Yeah.
I can give you a little bit of money. But Rex has got to be making pretty good money.
Right? He's got to be making at least $1 million there.
Yeah. I mean, you got nothing to do, right? You just sit there and throw bad takes out and
rub his wife's feet and just talk crap.
Bad takes.
Yeah. Terrible takes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's going to come down to Beard.
Although, the good, you did bring up a real positive. That if he does hire Rex Ryan, we don't have to hear him anymore on ESPN. So that's kind of
just replace him with another gas bag. I mean, it's not like
that's kind of a positive there.
Not, but then you'll get somebody else in there. So
now, well, we got somebody at 4:30. That's why, because you said 5. Huh? You want to do it now? All right, let's go. Sit down. Sit down. Have a seat, young man. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, they're doing the weigh-ins already? Yeah.
Well, nobody.
Right. But it'll be tomorrow, right? The weigh-ins, the official weigh-ins? Oh, today. Oh, no, that's right. The fight's tomorrow. That's right. I'm thinking Saturday. That's right. It's Friday. Tomorrow's the fights here at Hialeah Park. And Nelson, by the way, ended up winning the buffet. So he got closest. But I'm not saying the number. I'm just saying he got closest. Okay. I don't want to give the other guys were like they were like 100 the buffet. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. You're not doing a buffet?
Yesterday I was informed that the food's going to be inside the fight.
It's not going to be
buffet. Not going to be buffet. What? Yesterday, that's what I was told.
So you got to treat Nelson to something.
We'll got to give him
a certificate to eat somewhere in one of the restaurants.
Yeah, we'll give him something.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
but the other ones are just going to get tickets.
No. It was everybody was just tickets. It was only one.
Oh, okay.
It was only one buffet, one pair for the buffet.
Yesterday I was in the meeting.
So the buffet is so there is no buffet?
No.
Oh, the what?
I don't listen. I was in the meeting.
Was it 2 par or something?
I think that's what it might have been. So it was in the off air.
No,
I'll
seriously,
tell you.
it was
I'll
awesome.
tell you the whole story. No, but so what happened was I'm in the meeting yesterday, and now I think it might be better for us and for a lot of customers, because what happened last time, while the buffet was spectacular, people, while they were in the boxing area, didn't want to leave and go back in.
I get it.
So they put the food inside.
Okay.
So once you get past the gate, you take a scan, then there's a bar and there's food on the first floor, and there's a bar and there's food on the second floor.
Okay.
So that when I was hearing that, I was like, oh shit. I got to go talk to Big O tomorrow. Sean's going to he hasn't been eating in 2 days, so he get ready for the buffet.
Right.
And sometimes, I think it was a business decision. It might be a better business decision for us. But wait a second.
Well, Nelson still wins. He's going to be able to eat, so it's all right.
He still wins. The winner still wins. How many slots did he guess?
He was off. I don't want to say it because I want to use it again down the line. And plus, you gave me a nugget that it changes every couple of weeks.
Changes all the time.
All right, because they will take away a machine and add 3 more. They'll take away 6 and add 10 more. Because they're always modernizing and they're adding new machines constantly. So every couple of weeks, he told me, hey, the number actually changes. But he was off. I want to tell you, he was off by like 25.
Yeah, so
he was pretty close.
So
everybody else was off by like 100.
That's not
100 and something or whatever. Nelson was like right there, dude. He was like right in the neighborhood.
So I can tell you, next week, I'm taking 6 out of one area and putting 4.
Right,
because that's more comfort.
I know that's what you were telling me.
You put right. And then another area, we didn't have any slot machines there, and we're going to put 5 there. So the number is going to be different next week.
Right, yeah.
I think it's going to be a little more next week.
And I know you guys are constantly bringing in the latest machines, too. You're always going out to these conventions to go find the craziest, the newest machines.
See how big these machines are now?
I know.
43-inch screens look, monitors used to be 26 inches. Now they're 43, 50, 55.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What the hell is the electric bill in this place?
Oh, it's a lot of money.
Holy crap.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
I can buy a house every month, right? I can buy a house every month.
Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah.
Nah, not a house. You'd buy a portion. Well, where are you buying the house? Where are you buying the house?
Central Florida.
Bad neighborhood.
50 miles away from outside of Orlando.
Yeah,
real small town.
Rundown. Yeah, you could probably get that house.
Yeah.
Get that house.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it. This place is ginormous. The AC's on all the time because you have the equipment. So you have to have AC on all the time pretty much, because you got the equipment going on. You got people in here. And then you got TVs everywhere, lighting all over the damn place. I'm going, man.
You're not the first person that's asked that or made that observation, but I'm going to give you an example of the last place I worked at was Trump Taj Mahal, which is very big.
Yeah, it is.
It's very big, right? And I used to tell people, listen, I sign a check for the electric bill every month. And I can tell you, it's well in excess of $1 million every month.
Wow.
And the lights never go off. You know what I mean? And so it was like $1.5 million a month.
Wow.
In that big place. Now, we're not $1.5 million. I don't want
No, of course
now your
not.
listeners going to say, what, $1.5 million?
No, you don't have the
I
lights.
can sell them
the
good
lights
light
they have
LEDs and stuff.
Yeah, no, the lights outside. The lights outside of Trump Taj Mahal were
it was just so back then. It was just so. It was very, very big.
It was over the top stuff.
2,000 room hotel. Here, it's much smaller, but still, you could buy a little house.
Yeah, no,
a little house in a bad neighborhood.
I can imagine
if you'd like one.
I can imagine. By the way, I've mentioned it a couple of times. Mercedes looking good. How long does this raffle go for the Mercedes? So people go downstairs.
You're never going to forget the day.
Oh,
April 1st, April Fool's Day. And you're not going to believe me, but believe me, we're giving it away on April Fool's, on April 1st.
So
that's
1st,
a good thing.
You have to be here present. So you can come anytime and you play once, you got 1 entry. You play 50 times, you have 50 entries. So every time you pull that hook, you get an entry, right? Kind of?
No? Sort of. Not exactly. The more you play, the more entries you get.
Okay. So how many plays does it take on average?
It depends if you're betting $5 and he's betting $10 and I'm betting $2, It adds up to the dollar amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you bet like $100,
Right.
I hate to go into this because it's like mathematical, theoretical bullshit and all, but it really works. The slot machines are based on a simple math concept, the law of large numbers.
Okay.
So if I tell you that if a machine holds, so most of the machines in the country hold about 10%, and they pay out 90%. That really sucks. That's really bad. That's a ripoff. We pay about 6. We hold 6%, so we pay out 94. One of the largest, the largest in the country, in the state of Florida, in the east part of the country. So that 4% is huge, right? So that means if you bet $100, technically, we theoretically are going to win $6. Right. That's what it mathematically means, right? But you go down there and your viewers are going to look and say, "Hey, I went there. I played $100 and I lost $80." Yeah, that could happen too.
Right,
you could win $80, right? But when
it's called gambling.
When you add all those millions of people putting their $100 in there, we win about $6 every 100.
Right.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. And by the way, so that's wow, that's pretty good, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. This is good for the average.
But it's good for the player.
Well, this is good for the average Floridian. So let's just pick a business. Like one of your sponsors, I'm sure the great sponsor,
Hialeah Park.
No, that sells cars. But you had
Acura Pembroke Pines.
I love Acuras, right? So Acura, they sell Acuras, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say they do $1 million in business 1 month. I don't know what they do a month. Let's say they do $1 million, right? And then they have their expenses, and then they make a profit, and they pay income tax. We make $1 million, and we have to give 35% of that to the state of Florida.
Right.
So then we end up with, so you lose 100, we give 35 to Ron DeSantis and the boys, and then we have 65, and we pay our expenses, and then we have our profit.
Right.
Could you imagine if we didn't have gaming tax?
Oh yeah, no.
Holy smokes! No, I'll give you a point of reference. It's a little education. This is like the casino educational hour here. To give it a reference, in New Jersey, the gaming tax is 9.25%. Here it's 35%.
Wow.
Las Vegas, it's about 8%, 7 or 8%.
Man.
So now you're a Floridian. You're a Floridian. That's not bad. It's good for the Floridians. You know,
yeah, I get what you're
at least
saying.
it goes into the tax. You know, it's going back into our, into our tax world. You know.
Yeah.
And so basically,
hopefully it'll pay for something.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. It probably pays for the wrong thing, But at any rate, listen, boxing.
Yeah, quickly because we got.
I know you got another. I know you got another guest following up, but I can tell you that the great card, the weigh-ins are going on right now. Rigo's got to win. I mean, this is like a. This is it. Your career's over.
You're capping off
your career is the second phase.
Right.
And it's going to be it looks like the ticket sales have been really, really brisk. I'm going back in to put we had some more boxes up on sale because the tickets sales are really good. I'd recommend people go online, come on in person tomorrow. First fight starts at 7, and Rigo's probably going to go around 10:30. It's going to be a great night. I think come on out and buy some tickets and make sure I have the name.
I'll give it to you. I'll send you the winners tonight.
Send me an email tonight.
And I'll send you the first guy that is the winner with the buffet and the tickets. So.
And then maybe we can make him a slot tech.
Or give him a dinner and tickets.
Since he picked the number, so maybe he wants to be a slot technician. Does he have an interest in that?
I don't know. Nelson is a man of many talents. You can tell. So you could.
I mean, he picked the number. He did a pretty good job.
Actually. He got pretty close. Everybody else sucked. It was really bad. Like everybody else was way off, dude. Way off.
Well, just we have 806, but in the old days they used to put more slots.
Why did you say it?
Oh shit!
I
wasn't supposed to say that.
It.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Told you not to say it. Now they're gonna know, and then they're gonna build off, and they're gonna go, well, they only added a few or took a few, and
I'm sorry.
Damn it, because I told him 700, 800, 900, and here he goes.
I blew it.
I should have kicked your ass off the air at 4:30 when I told you.
Lesson learned. I'll leave with this thing. Lesson learned. Don't rob a bank with me. Okay.
No. So tickets, go to hialeahpark.com. You can get your tickets there, folks. And again, come on out here and play the slots. And remember, it's a smoke-free casino. I always like to remind people of that because some people are they don't go to a casino. They don't want the smoke. They don't want it in their faces. And one of the beauties that you guys do is it's smoke-free casino, but at the same time, you've got an area outside that's called the Smoking Hot Slots. So for the smokers, you want to bring your cigar, your cigarette, or your vape, just have some fun and go outside and smoke your brains out while you play games. So I love how you take care of both too at the same time.
I tell you my story about my first job, right?
Okay, quickly because we got Poopart waiting.
My first job in my career, I was in high school though. I was a janitor. I cleaned toilets, right? I used to go to practice in sports, and I'd run over to the.
I saw you in the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, so I'm cleaning toilets, but that wasn't the most disgusting thing. I'm going to tell you what the most disgusting thing was. This is why I don't smoke. Back then, everybody smoked in the offices. I had 3 floors of offices. I had to wipe out every ashtray, the little yellow mark, wipe it out with a damp cloth and then dry it. I could clean 1,000 toilets. But wiping out those ashtrays it taught me a lesson. I don't want to be near cigarettes. So I'm not against any smoker. God bless you. You smoke all you want, but it really grossed me out.
No, I get it.
It helped me. It was worse than cleaning toilets. It was cleaning up after ashtrays. And so from janitor to, this is a pretty good gig I got.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Yeah. Like, I guess a guy that,
a lot better. Yeah. But if you want to remind yourself of the janitor days, just go out to Smoking Hot Slots.
Exactly. Yeah, I will. I do. And I cringe a little.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't really want to remind my days of the janitor days. I'm trying to get that behind me, as a matter of fact.
I would imagine
but actually, it shaped me for a good work ethic and all that. I had a tough boss, boy, Val Gaduda. And my buddy Tony he worked in the other office building. He's my best friend to this day. And he's retired at 52. And we both started out as janitors, cleaning toilets and hating cigarettes, and we don't smoke. Thank God.
That's awesome. All right, let's take a quick break. Give me 1 minute, and Alan Poopart will join us. We'll talk a little Dolphins with him next.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Dolphins fans, time to get insight on your favorite team with your favorite reporter with an Expos hat. Sports Illustrated's Alan Poopart in our EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on a Big O radio show.
Oh, there we are. We are back and ready to go. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
I'm all right. All right. Yourself?
I am beautiful. I'm here at Hialeah Park having some fun. Got some boxing tomorrow night here at Hialeah. I'm going to go to the Drone Racing League on Saturday. You see who's going to be at the Drone Racing League?
I wrote about it.
Yeah.
I wrote about it. Yeah, I might see you there.
So you're going too. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Tyreek Hill is going to be there.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can still DM me. I think I have spots. I have one more pair of tickets for the Drone Racing League. DM me on Twitter at Big O Show if you want to win a pair of tickets for the Drone Racing League on Saturday. It's going to be really cool. I'm looking. By the way, it looks like a great event.
It looks very cool. I saw the promo video. It does look very, very cool.
Like you would think drone racing, whatever, boring. Or the way they have it designed, it looks really, really cool, man. And I'm a crypto guy, so Algorand is the lead sponsor, and I got a nice old bag of Algorand. I'm a big believer in that company. So I'm looking forward to meeting the people, obviously, that I've already been dealing with the Drone Racing League, but also meeting the Algorand people. And we'll see. I'm not surprised that Tyreek would be interested in something like this.
Yeah, no, it's like you mentioned in the press release. Like I said, I wrote about it this week. He mentioned in the press release, like he's a fan of tech stuff, and he's a fan of speed, very obviously. So it's a good combination for him. And he's on the ball. He's also doing, as I wrote in my story, he's also doing the same event, same fundraising event that Tua did last year at Lone Depot Park, where they interact one-on-one with fans. He's doing it in May. Obviously, with Tua, it's catching a pass from Tua. With Tyreek, it's throwing a pass to Tyreek. So,
right.
But all the details of that are in my story on alldolphins.com.
That's it, alldolphins.com, where he produces 177 articles a minute. So go check it out. Make sure you bookmark it there at alldolphins.com. Your thoughts on the additions of Ronaldo Hill?
It's a good addition. It's interesting because he was under contract, and Brandon Staley basically said, "Go ahead." And this is a demotion for Ronaldo Hill. And very honestly, if Ronaldo Hill was a complete kick-ass defensive coordinator for the Chargers, Brandon Staley probably would have said, "Sorry, bud. You need."
Or Brandon Staley really runs the defense, so he doesn't really.
Well, true.
Probably.
That's a fair point. But here's the thing, though, he was hired in the capacity of defensive pass game coordinator, and the Chargers' rankings in those two areas the last 2 years were like 7th and 12th in pass defense. They were horrible against the run both times, partly because their personnel up front is really bad. But they did a good job against the pass, and they did a hell of a job against the Dolphins passing game when they played at SoFi Stadium in November. And by all accounts, Ronaldo Hill had his hands deep into the game plan that produced that performance. So, no, and it's a guy who's got vast experience as a player, as a coach. So it's a very solid hire. I'm curious as to what it does to Sam, because Sam last year was cornerbacks coach / passing game specialist. Does that title get removed? I don't know. Chances are they're going to work, in collaboration anyway. But yeah, no, it's a very solid hire. I mean, you're looking at a pretty guy with a lot of experience and a good resume to a position that's, below your DC. So no, that's very good.
Yeah, and I wonder also if Ronaldo sees the writing on the wall and says, yeah, he just signed a 3-year with a 4-year option. I don't know if this Brandon Staley guy's really going to make it for another year or two. He's already kind of been on hot water. He had to fire the offensive coordinator this year. So you just wonder. And so I just, it's one of those things. I wonder if Ronaldo also says, yeah, it's nice what I'm doing, but I'm going to have more job security by going over there instead. I don't know.
Yeah, and it may be a case of like, let me take a step back here to take steps forward. Whereas if I keep myself chained to Brandon Staley, and if the Chargers, I mean, there was some thought that Brandon Staley might have been fired at the end of last year after they blew the playoff game. So I don't think his job security is necessarily that great. It's a Chargers flop in 2023. So from that standpoint, it makes sense. And Hill also has familiarity with Vic Fangio. He coached for him in Denver. Was it in 2019 or something? So, and obviously very familiar with the Dolphins as a player and as a coach.
By the way, I'm following obviously what's going on with Eric Bieniemy. Your thoughts overall on the fact that he never got that head coaching opportunity, and he has to go and make a lateral move, which it's technically not a lateral move because you will really be in charge of the offense here. Whereas Andy Reid, you're really still under the shadow of Andy Reid. But your thoughts on him having to make this step to prove himself?
I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, the argument in Bieniemy's favor was that if we're going under the premise that it's Andy Reid's offense and he's the brains behind everything there, well, that didn't stop Matt Nagy from getting a head coaching job with the Bears,
right?
Which he flopped.
Right.
I believe Doug Peterson went from working for Andy Reid to the Eagles job. So if those two guys get that job, then why did Eric Bieniemy not do it? There were some rumblings about him, quote unquote, not interviewing well. He's got some issues from his past in college. I'm not going to go over them, but there was some off the field stuff that happened way back when. Could that have been a factor? But in this case, if he goes to Washington, the Washington offense completely balls out, then it's going to be tough to justify not giving the guy a head coaching job.
Yeah, the optics are horrible, really.
They would be, but he's going to a situation where Sam Howell's his quarterback. And, really, are we really convinced Sam Howell's ready to be a stud?
Don't know, but I like him. He was all right, actually. He's got something to work with. He's got a chance. I don't know if he's a guy.
He's got a chance, but if he flops, is that really an indictment on Eric Bieniemy?
No, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what he can do. It's like the Daniel Jones thing. I still don't think Daniel Jones ain't much, but shit, I got to give his head coach a lot of credit. He got something out of the guy more than people have. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think much of Hassan Whiteside either, but damn, Eric Spoelstra got the best out of him. You know what I mean? And so that kind of stuff. So if you show me that as a coach, then I'm good enough with that. Then I can know who you are, because I know that in with the Giants, they haven't developed a starting franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones. But I'll say this, Dable did a hell of a job with him overall, because I know what I saw in years past with him, and what I saw this past year was a drastic improvement for him. So I got to give Dable credit. You know what I mean?
He still wasn't overwhelming.
No. Brother, I would go after Derek Carr. If I'm the Giants, I'm not giving that dude a multi-year contract of $40 million and all that. Hell no, dude. I'd rather go sign Derek Carr.
Are you giving Derek Carr $40 million a year, though?
Yes. Over Daniel Jones? Yes. Here's
the thing, though.
That's the going rate for a typical or decent franchise quarterback. You want an elite one, it's 45-50.
That's fine, except here's the thing. You're going to bring in Derek Carr. See, Daniel Jones could work in that offense that Dable constructed last year. Despite a horrible wide receiver core, which had injuries on top of that. You put Derek Carr in that same situation, he's not going to do crap.
Okay.
He needs receivers.
I think he's a better passer. I think he's a better passer than Daniel Jones.
Without question, he's a better passer than Daniel Jones. I'm not arguing that with you at all.
Yeah. I would rather pay Derek Carr the multi-year deal than Daniel Jones. That's all I'm saying. If I'm the Giants, if that agent's coming at me with $40 million a year from Daniel Jones, I'm like, yeah, no, dude, thanks, but no thanks. I'm out of here. I'm going at least to Derek Carr if I have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they don't even have to. They could just franchise Daniel Jones if they want. That's like $32 million.
Is it that much? Is that what it is?
I think that's what the going rate for the franchise tag for a quarterback. So.
Are you expecting the Dolphins to franchise tag Tua Tagovailoa?
You keep doing the same thing to me. He's not eligible for the franchise tag. He's under.
I'm sorry, the fifth-year option.
Remember, I told you it was 50-50. I'm of the opinion that they don't need to do it. Because, again, at some point, they still have control for this year, and they have control for next year.
Yeah, but that'll cost you a lot more next year.
They can franchise tag him next year. And at some point, they're going to have to make a call, and it can't be 5 years down the road. You're going to have to make a call. Is this a guy we're going with long term? If the answer is yes, then he gets a long-term contract for big money. If you don't have that answer 2 years from now, move on. So what you do, and because the price against that is you're guaranteeing $23 million, and if things go sideways, either he regresses performance-wise or the injuries crop up again.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm not worried about regression.
Okay, that's fine. But then even then, you're stuck paying $23 million. Basically, again, when you still have 2 years of control before.
I know, but Doggy, if he balls out, you're only paying $22.5 million. Whereas if he balls out and then you got to give him a new contract, now you're going to pay a lot more. I know you can manage that first year and lower the number and not have. You could probably have even a much lower number than 22, but your back end numbers are going to be really, really big from that moment on. Whereas the 22 is very manageable because and I know the cap will go up another 10 or 15 million next year. So that kind of will offset that. And then that gives you the space to go out and get another player or two. In other words, you can make a full 2-year run with him and still do it without giving him the big contract. I don't know if you read Andrew Brandt's latest article where he talked about when you give the quarterback that money, that it's just not realistic to build the team the same way. And so in other words, for you to avoid,
I haven't read it. I saw it. And I thought I said the headline or the teaser was that it was the opposite, that it's a myth. Patrick Mahomes just won the Super Bowl and then he's got a very high cap figure. But here's Big O. Here's the thing.
They hit on that secondary. That's the thing. They got all those young guys and they played well. It was really cool for them. It worked out.
Here's the thing. If Tua balls out, you franchise tag him next year. The way it's been jumping up, you're looking at $36 million maybe.
Right, probably.
That's not egregious. And then if he balls out the next 2 years, you get to 2025 and clearly no injury issues anymore. He's your guy. Give him the long-term, the big money long-term. And at that point, you'll be more.
You can lower the number that first year, actually.
Correct. So that's 3 years at a reasonable price. To me, I think that is a much more ideal scenario than putting yourself putting your neck on the line for $23 million.
You convinced me. That makes a lot of sense because that buys you a third year. You're right about that. Because the third year, you're not going to have a $50 million salary. You'll make it like 10 or 12 or something,
right?
And then you'll break out the rest in the following 5 years after in that deal, and then because if you wait. You don't have to tag when you're tagging him. You're already convinced that he's the guy because he just went through a healthy year or a really good year.
Right.
He only missed one game or something, and he had a great year. That kind of stuff, and you're convinced, okay, he can be the guy. Let's move forward, and then you can tag him and then control and then negotiate the new contract after that. You're right. It's better off that way actually without tagging him. You are correct. That makes a lot of sense.
Can I somebody recording that with the "you are correct"?
It's I mean, once in a while you're gonna get it right. I mean, Jesus.
Ryan Squirrel, man.
By the way, True Fin fan sends in a super chat. Alan Poopart is my favorite on this show. Oh. Cap for Life sends in a super chat. Poop is the reason SI is still relevant, bro. And then True Fin fan sends in a second super chat. Poopart can convince a priest to a strip club. LOL.
Okay. Thanks.
You should. You're the only insider I've seen that gets super chats sent in. Nobody else really gets super chats sent in.
I'm sure I get plenty of opinions going the other way too.
No, I think you're well liked on the platform, bro.
Huh?
Yeah, I think you're very well liked on the platform, bro. Very well liked. Yeah, I get a lot of good compliments about you on the platform. A lot of people like you, bro. Yes. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, the chat room is a lot better than your Twitter feed, Alan. Just so you know.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah.
No, but you talked a lot about Denver going to be a.
Oh, I think it's going to be a disaster.
Well, Adam Schefter saying NFL veteran QB Davis Webb, who spent the last season backing up Daniel Jones, is being hired as the Broncos QB coach.
Oh, okay. I'm sure
the 28-year-old Webb now will be coaching the 34-year-old Russell Wilson in his first NFL coaching job.
Wow. Yeah, but it's really
Sean Payton is going to be coaching.
Yeah, Payton's going to coach him. He's grooming this kid, is what he's doing. And I think that's kind of what he's doing with Ronaldo Hill, by the way. That's what I think is going on with that hire. I think he's getting. I think the old man told him, "Hey, come on over here, man. I'll show you the ropes and get you even closer to being a defensive coordinator." and all that. So I think
He
that's
was a defensive coordinator.
no, but you know what I mean, like the defensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Like become the guy.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
but the way Fangio's talking, he wants to coach for 10 more years, so maybe Hill's going to have to wait a lot longer. I mean, he's a very energetic 64-year-old. So,
Well, you know what? You're right. I mean, guys do coaching. Some guys can coach well into their 70s. Actually, you know, it keeps them alive. Actually, it's what they live to do. You know what I'm saying? It's when they have this incredible passion for it. I like look at Paterno. I think Paterno's a perfect example. That dude had cancer, but if you wouldn't have taken the job away from him, he probably would have lasted a lot longer. And then once he didn't have the job, the depression set in and the cancer took over, and you know that's it. It was over, you know, for him, and he ended up checking out. And I think that
not to be said for mental outlook affecting physical health. Not to be said.
yeah, I'm a strong believer of that. There's no doubt about it. When you have a passion for what you do, it definitely drives you every day. It gives you that motivation that you need. I'm with you 100%. And by the way, I do think the Sean Payton thing. I think you're now deciding between Matt Patricia and Rex Ryan as your defensive coordinators.
They hired Vance Joseph.
Yeah. Oh, they did? They hired Vance Joseph? Oh, I didn't see that. When did that come through?
Early this afternoon.
Oh, early this afternoon. Okay, no wonder. Okay. I was going, damn, I didn't see that. So he hired Vance Joseph. All right. I give him a little more hope.
That's amazing too. That's now 4 DCs around the league at least who are former Dolphin assistants with Matt Berg, Vance Joseph, Luana Romo, Brian Flores. And
by the way,
maybe I'm forgetting somebody.
Our boy Josh Boyer did not get a job anywhere, right? Or hasn't, or at least at the NFL level.
Nothing that I've seen now.
Right. And did he go to college at all?
I have not heard or seen anything.
Because I haven't seen any kind of news on Josh Boyer, so don't know if what's going on there. But anyway, by the way, were you there when Aaron Rodgers left his darkness retreat?
My God, I mean, somebody's got to care about this. Jesus Christ, really? I mean, woof. I'm seeing tweet after tweet after tweet, like a long form story inside Aaron Rodgers' retreat. And I'm like, am I the only one who could not give less of a shit about this? Jesus Christ. I mean, come on.
No, my favorite line is from him. Oh, I have several friends that have done it, and it's done wonders for him. I'm like, who do you hang around with, bro? Like
Miles Teller he hangs around with.
God, several friends? Like
Big O, the actor Miles Teller. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Whiplash.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
He's buddies with him. He was in Hawaii with him a few years back when he was with Shailene Woodley.
Okay. All right.
I guess maybe that's one of the...
Is he a retreat guy? Because I was thinking he hangs around with bears because they like to go into a cave and hibernate. So I figured, okay, maybe that's what it is. He hangs around with a bunch of bears, and they, that's kind of what it is, hibernation. So all right, good stuff.
So to answer your question, no, I wasn't there when he got out of his retreat.
Okay, no, I was figuring you would cover that and give us the insight on all of that. All right, what are we expecting on the contract side with Wilkins and Sealer? Do we know anything? What's going on?
Well, here's the thing: as I'm sure you're aware, Drew Rosenhaus, Sealer's agent, was on a radio show yesterday morning
with Joe.
Talking to how it was a priority to get Sealer an extension, and from the standpoint where what he's getting paid for 2023, the last year of his contract, is insanely low for the caliber of player he is.
I'm sure.
Here's the thing: is his cap number is already really low, and the Dolphins have work to do to get cap compliant before March 15th. So I'm thinking, they will address it at some point. But you're not doing it. You're doing it because you want to keep the guy and you want to reward good performance, not for cap purposes, because I think his cap number is like maybe 275 or something like that. So I don't know.
So you're going to extend it. You're not going to give him any more money in this year is probably what you're saying.
I don't know how much lower you're going to get his cap number from that. So because of that, to me, maybe while yes, it's a priority because it's a guy you want to keep around, it doesn't need to be done like immediately. Whereas Chris Wilkins right now, his cap number is, what was a 5th-year option, $9 million or something, 10 million, 10-4 or something. Well, his cap number is going to be 10-4 on March 15th if there's another contract extension signed. So his is more pressing. And I did a story actually kind of related to Drew's comments and the fact that Drew's represents 10 Dolphin players, including 4 guys who are going to be UFAs, including Jerome Baker, who you and I have mentioned as a guy who maybe possibly could be in trouble or could be asked to restructure his contract or jettisoned. He represents Myles Gaskin, Duke Riley, Landon Roberts.
Duke stays.
And Roberts, if I had to guess, Roberts winds up in Minnesota with Flo. And then I forget who the 4th one is, but he's got 4. No, and then he was asked about Agba and whether Agba was going to stay. Well, Agba's got $15 million guaranteed. Dolphins ain't cutting him, and nobody's trading for him. So,
right? No, Agba. They're stuck with Agba for at least one more year.
Correct.
I'm with you there. I think the good thing for them, I think they're going to get a motivated X, because X will go into a year that he will be undecided of what his future is. So he's going to have to perform at a high level. And do you think the Byron Jones cut will be a June cut? Is that still the thinking?
Yeah, based on my understanding of the salary cap, it makes no sense. It's going to be designated as a post-June 1 cut. Unless, barring some miracle, there's a restructure instead and they wind up keeping him. It remains a great big mystery. I'm trying to find out what's going on with him, and it ain't easy. Let me put it that way.
No, I can imagine it's not easy right now. All right, anything else you think could be an issue on some kind of a tag or some kind of a contract situation coming up for the Dolphins?
No, I mean, I would expect maybe Tyreek Hill's contract could be restructured. I mean, he's got like a cap number of 31 mil. That's I don't know there's ways to move money around to make that more palatable because they have moves to be done, but they have space. They'll be able to create space. There's usually always a way. Sometimes though it involves kicking.
You get 15 out of that 31 and then spread it out for the life of the contract.
But you're basically kicking the can down the road. At some point,
of course,
point it becomes an issue. The Dolphins are not there yet. They still have a window.
But you have to create. You just talked about the window with Tua. So financially, this is what you have to then create that window for the next couple of years, because technically that's your door and your opportunity to make that run around them, and then the crap is going to hit the fan. And I think that's the good thing for the Dolphins this year too, that you look at the Bills and they've got all kinds of financial decisions now. They're already talking about it. They're already talking about like Brandon Beane, I think is the GM's name, right? And he's like already come out and say, yeah, now things are going to be a little, be prepared that things are going to be a little tougher for us right now because we've got contracts kicking in and they're going to lose players. And you're hearing it in Cincinnati that they can't be nearly as active now, they said, like they were last year because of the contracts that they have to pay out. Hell, they're thinking of trading Boyd, and they're going to lose Higgins next year. And then obviously they've got to give Chase and Burrow, big-time contracts. So you're seeing that some of these teams kind of had a window. Now that salary is catching up to them, whereas Miami, well, they're going to maybe extend that window for the next year or two, but they've got to take advantage of it before they've got to pay the piper.
No, correct. The Bengals have issues because what they have is that stud trio of wide receivers. Keeping all three is going to be a bitch.
Oh, they won't be able to do that.
It's going to be very, very difficult. They have Jesse Bates, who at times can be a dynamite safety. Buffalo's got Jordan Poyer, Tremaine Edmonds as free agents. It's a league-wide issue. And as you mentioned, the Dolphins are positioned if they want to make a move. If you saw Pro Football Focus was throwing out 5 trades they could see happening in the offseason, and they suggested Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins for 2 second-round picks.
No shot. Zero chance.
Here's the thing.
That happens.
Except you and I both know, right? I know, and I think you should know, never say never with the Dolphins and the shiny toys.
No, that's not this GM. This GM does not like, and their history is they know how to draft and they know how to find secondary. They don't need to go and overpay free agency and picks for a corner. They can find them off the street. They can find them in the draft. They find the safeties. No, I don't think so. I think they're pretty confident in their abilities that if they needed a corner in that second or two third-round picks, they probably feel they can get a guy right there to, compete with all those other guys for that starting spot.
Except if Jalen Ramsey's right, when he's right, he's a top 5, maybe probably top 3 corner in the NFL. When X is right, he's a top 5, top 3 corner in the NFL.
Well, I get that.
Because we talk about like the Dolphins are able to find corners. Sure, Cater Kohu was a great revelation last year. And Nick Needham's become a very solid NFL player. Let's not pretend.
Brandon Jones developed, and
they're not Jalen Ramsey again. Under the premise, Big O. Here's the thing: under the premise that the Dolphins look at their window and decide we really need to. Remember, Stephen Ross is 82.
I get it.
Under the premise that their window is a year or two, I'm just telling you, it's not something I would dismiss out of hand, because maybe in the long term it's not conducive to building, a team that will sustain over many, many years.
I'm just looking at a front office that said, I found X in the second round. I found Minka in the first. I found a guy that's just as good in the second. I found Brandon Jones in the third. Found Nick Needham off the street and Cater Kohu off the street. And hell, Trill Williams was developing into a nice little player off the street. I think this is the kind of front office that says, oh, we need a corner. Let's prepare, because maybe Cater can develop into the outside guy. Let's get another guy so when we cut X, he's ready to take over for X2. I think this is the kind of front office that says, all right, let's figure somebody out in the second, third rounds, and let's go find them. And I think they can do it because their track record says it, that they know how to, unearth talent. That's all. I don't know. That's just me.
You make a valid point, but again, I'm going to go back to.
It's kind of like the running back thing. Oh, no, they're going to go get Saquon. No, bro, look at his history.
They're not getting.
Kenyon Drake is his highest draft pick. He doesn't do that. He doesn't go. He gets a Jeff Wilson that's cheap, and he gets a Mostert that's cheap, and he gets, a Gaskin that's cheap, and an Ahmed that's cheap. This is who he does. He doesn't go out and spend high picks or big money on guys. And look, they went and spent on Chase, and they got burned for that, overall. So it's just not their it's not their MO, So it's, what are you going to do? So to me, I don't think it's their MO to go out and spend big like that, to trade and pay. Where like the Byron Jones one, okay, I get it. That was just a sign.
They just did it for Tyreek last year.
No, but that's a receiver. That's different. That's a whole different ball game there. They needed
They paid big for Byron Jones in 2020. They paid huge for Byron Jones. They made him the
highest trading for him. I don't think you're also going to give picks up. I mean, for Ramsey, they're going to ask.
Okay, correct.
Yeah.
But again, it may be a case where the Rams want to get rid of that salary, and maybe they don't ask for as much as a guy's value is. Again, when he's completely right, he wasn't at his best last year. He still made the Pro Bowl, whatever that means. But again, to me, I think there's merit to the idea of this is a team that's looking at, they've got a window year, 2 years, and they may want to go for it, especially with an owner that's not getting any younger, who really would love to make some noise in the playoffs.
Let's see. I think it's going to be an interesting offseason. I know they don't have a lot of material to trade for, but I think they have enough. They can create enough cap space. They have enough picks at the higher end with a second and 2/3. They can find some impactful players there. I think they've got more than enough resources to kind of tweak this roster and make it better. Do you agree or no, or don't?
Yeah, but here's the thing, and where I would caution against, because you mentioned they had 2/3. Well, they had a third last year who couldn't see the field. So,
fine.
Yeah, but generally speaking, your third round picks is not making a huge impact as a rookie. And again, under the premise of a team that's going for it, but they made the playoffs last year. Then they made the playoffs and had to play their playoff game with their third string rookie 7th round pick quarterback. They easily can look at that and go, hell, if we had our team, if we had our quarterback, really interesting possibilities. What can we add? What big move can we add just to push us over the hump? We hired Vic Fangio. That's one move that gets us really closer. How about one player who really gets us closer? And it's not two third-round picks who do that. So this is where, again,
that's where free agency, I think, comes in too. That's where you're going to make some bones in free agency and find another player or two that can help you out too at the same time, I think. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that with some of your picks and what you can create in free agency, you should be able to open up cap space with different guys. You should be able to make some moves.
No, able to make some tweaks here and there, but if they're looking to get over the hump with that really big go for it style, it needs to be a splash move. I don't know if it's the kind of move you can make in free agency with the cap space they'll have. This is where possibly a trade comes into play, which is why the Jalen Ramsey, even though the initial reflex is to say that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's too much.
But except does it really not make any sense? I don't know.
No, I understand the method behind your madness of adding the talent. What I don't think makes sense in a year where you don't have a lot of picks, you're going to give up picks and a lot of cap space. I just have a hard time with that one. That's where I think it just doesn't make sense for the Dolphins. Whereas, especially for this front office that has had success drafting players in that position, in that secondary, go find another guy, man. You can do it. There's always corners, man. You can find a good corner in the second, third rounds in the NFL.
Dude, the idea is to add like an A corner, not a B corner. That's the thing. And Cater who's got a lot of promise. Nick Needham's a good, solid player. They're A cornerbacks. There are not a ton of A cornerbacks in the league.
No, I know. And Needham is a slot. He's not an outside guy. I'm not as comfortable with Needham on the outside. Cater, I'm comfortable outside or inside, actually. His skill set really, I think, carries really well on either side. But I really like Cater. Maybe he can really turn into an outside guy.
And let's not forget, Needham's a UFA too, so there's no guarantee he comes back.
No, that's true. That's true. It's a good point. The good thing is the injury will now – not allow him to ask for what he could have gotten in the open market. And that's the only break that the Dolphins do get.
It's good news for the Dolphins. It's good news for Needham.
Rams and 9-time All-Pro Bobby Wagner mutually agreed Thursday to part ways. Rams need more cap space, and Wagner wants to win. Will now be a notable part of the free agent class. Is that the middle linebacker that the Miami Dolphins get? Because, people are talking about Edmonds, but Bobby Wagner that's actually not a bad tackling machine in the middle for you.
Yeah, I have no clue what kind of season. I know at Seattle dude was a baller. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what kind of year he had last. I'll have to reach out to somebody with the Rams to find out what kind of season he had.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know exactly how good he was, but that is one guy, man, that I know he's got a lot of mileage on him.
He does
at this point. So who knows? All right, what are you working on alldolphins.com so the fan base can go check you out, my friend?
Everything and anything. I already have 2 stories up today. I did something on Mike Gesicki heading into free agency. Very cool the way I don't know if you checked him out on social media. He's like very cool, very loosey-goosey, not a care in the world. And he was responding to the comment from Caleb Williams, a Heisman winner, who was saying that right now he'd like to play for the Dolphins and throw to Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Mike Gesicki. And Gesicki on Twitter was like, "Really?
I'm not gonna be there."
He's like, "Yeah, I'm actually checking out what to do with my condo lease." So I wrote about Gesicki, and then I wrote something else earlier today. And for some reason, maybe because I'm old, I forget what it was. It was very good, actually.
I think if Gesicki's smart, he makes it an Airbnb.
There you go.
That's what you should. You're in South Florida. You own a condo, bro. Have somebody pay your mortgage. Just make it an Airbnb, and that's it, dude. I'm sure his condo's nice enough that it'll be, sold out most of the month, and he'll get his mortgage paid really quickly with an Airbnb here in South Florida.
You can rent it to Durham Smythe. I don't know if Durham Smythe's what his living situation is. The other thing I remember, the other thing I did was on the head coach Mike McDaniel and the Football Outsiders aggressiveness index as it relates to fourth downs last year. I did a comprehensive look at the Dolphins on fourth down last year, as well as a breakdown as to why it probably may not be quite as significant next season.
Okay. All right. So check it out. Go to alldolphins.com. Make sure you bookmark that, because if you don't, you're really not officially a Miami Dolphins fan until you do that. And follow this man on Twitter at Poopart NFL. Alan, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll talk early next week, and we'll hang out over at the Combine, my friend. Appreciate you.
Sounds like a plan. You have a good weekend.
You got it, buddy. Be good. There you go. Alan Poopart, baby. He's ready like I am for those stuffed garlic rolls with cheese and pepperoni. Are you listening to me, Sean? Stuffed garlic rolls. Yeah, you're not getting any of them. That's right. Unfortunately. Next year, maybe we'll drag your ass to get cold over there. I don't know, man. You don't really need to go to the Combine one. That one is like, you know what you'd do? You'd stay at our pad and then go downstairs to eat somewhere and then go right back up again and work, and that's it. That's what you'd be doing the entire time. I'll be the one out in the bars at night walking around. Oh, man. I said yesterday here, said it several times before, I don't want anyone else to come here. Give this team and staff health, and we can beat anybody. I'm with you, true Fin fan. That is, by the way, our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poopart. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is your custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
By the way, Gus1388, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, that's it, Big O. Rodgers to the Bears. That would make a lot of sense, bro, right? They want to trade Justin Fields, and then they bring in Aaron Rodgers. That way they don't have to deal with him every year and lose to him, because Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. So that's a good call by you. Green Lion, thank you for the love on the super chat. Patreon idea weekly panel with Joe, Allen, and Omar. Okay, that's not bad. That's interesting. Can do something like that. What else do we have here on the show? That might be a very interesting idea on your part there on the Patreon. I like that. What else do we have here that I wanted to talk about on the show? What else? Oh, by the way, Welton Rayom, a proud sponsor. I see there, Welton Rayom, Jeff Welt, Dan Rayom. They are amazing. They are great lawyers. They're in Hollywood. They service all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. They've got an office in Monroe County too, so our friends in the Keys. And listen, I know we've gone through some tough times. Some folks have been dealing with bankruptcy. Call Welton Rayom. You got homeowner property damage like we had, you call Welton Rayom. They will bring the insurance companies to their knees. Condo damage, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, criminal defense. You call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They will get it done. 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. We witnessed it ourselves. We have a couple of our listeners right now that are going through their issues, and Dan and Jeff are taking care of them. They can do the same thing. I saw how they brought Progressive to their knees. Okay, and these insurance companies, all they want to do is abuse you. The insurance adjusters, they don't work for you, dude. They work for the insurance companies. They want to keep them happy. It's not about keeping you happy. You know, I had an adjuster reach out to me that heard me talk about, well, no, we don't really work for the insurance company. I'm like, yo, bro, okay, bro, that's fine. You don't work for the insurance company. That's fine. So start doing a job that's not beneficial to them, and we'll see how long you're going to work for the insurance company. So, it's just one of those things. And they have their own adjusters. Dan and Jeff have their own adjusters. So it doesn't matter. And mine was home. If yours is car or business, whatever it is, they have the adjuster to send to your accident, home, business, and they will get it done the right way and make sure your stuff is repaired and replaced the way it was. Okay, because Progressive wanted to give us a lot less money, 1/5 of what we got. That's because my wife, she was a little hard-headed about this. I said, let me call Dan and oh no, I can take care of this. Okay. And then when she was running into walls, I said, you're done. Okay, I gave you a chance. You're done. I'm calling Dan and Jeff. Enough already. But if you're married, you know how it is. You gotta fight the wars you can win. There are some wars you can't win. Sometimes you just gotta retreat, let it happen, and then when the mess is there, you come in to clean up the mess. And that's what I did. She was there. It was a mess. And I said, well, here you go. Dan and Jeff will clean it up. Boom. Please call them. 954-966-4646. Call them for free consultation, questions answered, all that. You may not even ever have to go to the office except to pick up a check. 954-966-4646. Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties, and even Monroe County. Welt and Rayon, baby. Big O, Moxley won yesterday. Evil Uno lost. And Moxley once again was bleeding, but this time they also made Evil Uno bleed as well. So it was a bloodbath, is what you're saying. Okay, it's kind of what my wife was in the middle of when she was talking with Progressive, and they were trying to take advantage. Progressive Insurance. Yeah, you're really fair. Green Lion, thank you for your Patreon idea, man. That is a very nice idea. Orlando, hear me out. And I know you don't like people telling you what to do on your show, but Green Lion is not far off. Plus, a once-a-month panel for listeners. No, but see, that's not telling me what to do.
You're banned, Cap for life.
I'm
just kidding.
That's a suggestion for Patreon. We haven't started our Patreon page. He's right. That's a good idea. You know what I mean? It's while I'm already doing a show, you're telling me, oh, I didn't come here to hear this or that. And it's like, well, too bad, bro. You don't want to hear me talk about crypto or life or, a shot I take at a Dem or a Republican. Well, that's your fault, not mine. I don't care. That's your problem if you're a little sensitive, that kind of stuff. So, yes, thank you. I think it's I agree with you, Cap for Life. I agree with Green Lion. That's a very good idea. And we've been talking about it, but, man, we do so much. And that's the thing. It all takes time, too, That's the problem. But anyway, so Lamar Jackson. This story is getting more interesting every day. I told, who was it that was on with me that I told them that I think that this is going to end up in a tag and then he's going to be pissed and he's going to hold out and all that. I forgot which one it was. It was who? Verderam? It might have been Verderam. I think you're right. And I really think that that's what's going to end up happening because I think Lamar is in this delusional state of what he thinks he is and his value. And then he has also, unfortunately, the Watson contract, which was a stupid contract by the Cleveland Browns. But then again, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns. They've been a stupid organization for a very, very long time. And Jimmy Haslam has been an idiot owner for a long time. He'll spend, but he does a lot of stupid things. And one was it's the same thing as Mark Davis giving John Gruden a fully guaranteed $10 million per year contract, which then puts the pressure on the rest of the NFL to then raise the salaries up to that point now, which again, now you give Deshaun Watson, who obviously might have gotten away with some stuff, some criminal activity, obviously, it looks like it, allegedly, and you're giving him a fully guaranteed contract. The optics are terrible. And so now Lamar thinks he deserves a fully guaranteed contract. And considering that he doesn't have any problems off the field compared to Deshaun, I get it. But as a player, he's never proven that as a quarterback. And so I just feel like this thing is getting contentious, and it's because one side is delusional, and then the other side is in a tough spot now because they can't be stupid. And as I've said this for months, if somebody really wants to trade and give him that contract, I can't wait so I can laugh at them. Okay? Just like I told you, if the Dolphins, not that this was ever part of the mix, but some of you people out there have this, ridiculous idea that they're going to go trade for Lamar. So that would be the dumbest thing that the Dolphins would do. I would tear the Dolphins down if they actually made that stupid ass move, because that's what it's going to be. And so I just get a feeling that if there is no contract here, there's going to be a tag, there's going to be a holdout, it's going to get ugly. He kind of didn't come back for the playoff game. And I don't know how healthy he was or what, or maybe he wasn't as healthy, but some people think, hey, you weren't sacrificing. There's Pat Mahomes playing on one leg, right? But he's got a whole deal where Lamar doesn't. And just never know. I just think there's a lot of delusion going on. And by the way, now the NFLPA is also helping Lamar out with this contract too. They have no agent, but they're still kind of assisting in all of this. I just think this situation is going to get uglier before it gets a lot better with Lamar. I really do, because I think he's in a delusional state of what he is.
I know you don't listen to a lot of Hockman and Crowder, but I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was driving home. Hockman and Crowder.
Oh, yeah, no.
I listen to him when I'm in the car. So I got in the car one day, and Crowder was actually, I think it was yesterday or the day before, because I was picking up my daughter after school.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how one year he represented himself. And he said it was the biggest mistake because, as you've talked about before,
yes, Joel Siegel is this.
But I guess something happened or he wanted to sit in the meetings or whatever. But he said that, the one thing with, as you said, they have people. The team has people that come in to tell you why you're not going to get that money. You don't tackle enough. You're terrible on third
Lamar,
downs.
You're not.
You can't recover
enough.
this.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And they're saying that to your face, and it's like. You start taking it personal, even though it's not, but you end up taking it personal. And then, so it was interesting to hear it come from, I guess, somebody that actually been in there, because you've talked about it before, but, I think once that situation happened, there's no fixing it. I don't think there's nothing you can do to fix it unless you give him the money he wants. And he's not going to take anything less.
And I would not give him that money for nothing in the world.
It's crazy, because especially when
a running quarterback that has to run in order to really be effective,
because I'm sure
he can't sit. See, Mahomes can have a bad leg and stay in the pocket and beat your ass.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what they told him.
Right.
Because again, these guys don't work for the
Lamar,
team.
You tried to stay in the pocket, and we ended up with a bunch of field goals.
It's very interesting to have to you pay somebody basically just to tear down your stars to tell them why they're not worth that much money.
Right.
But hey, that's the business.
That's the business. And the agent doesn't go back and tell the player about all
everything.
Of that.
No, because
he doesn't tell him about anything unless it's bad.
He said,
unless there's a breakup, they don't tell you. No, trust me. The agent keeps it away from the player.
Okay, well then maybe Crowder
no. He
Crowder
said you said he was present.
Oh, he sat in there because he said he wanted to sit in there because of the other things that the agent was telling him. He was like, no, I need to sit in on the meeting after the agent had told him some of the other stuff.
Well, maybe that's because he wasn't getting his money, and then now he wants to hear it for himself.
No.
Why do you want to do that?
No, bro? But he said once that happened, there was not a lot of
way to go back
to fix it. There's not, because they're telling you basically, the truth of what they feel about you, not fluffing it. And again,
in the locker room, on the field,
this ain't the GM. It's not the coach. It's not the people that you deal with every day. It's the guy that's paid for to sit there and tell you how bad you are.
Yeah, GM and the contract negotiator. Yeah. Because all year on the field in practice, they tell you how much they love you, how much you're the best.
Yeah, I think EJ heard it too. He said it cost Crowder $10 million is what it ended up costing him.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting because you've talked about it over and over, but then when you hear it, it's
ridiculous,
wow, man. Because you do take it personal. It's like if you sit in on negotiations, you end up taking it.
Lamar's not very
personal.
Smart.
I'm not. I don't think you're smart from the beginning. I don't think you're smart from the beginning to even get involved.
He is not very smart.
No.
He is not very smart. He's not the brightest bulb in the chandelier because he doesn't get it. Yep. Anybody that would be at this level and you're a starting quarterback in the NFL and you don't have an agent, You're a freaking moron, dude. He's a nice kid and everything. He's a good man, Lamar, but he is dumb as bricks. Dumb as bricks, the way he's mishandled everything. He should have had his fat ass contract 2 years ago after the MVP year. That's when he had to ride the momentum. That's what a real agent would have done. Would have gotten it done 2 years ago before you had to get tagged. And he didn't. It was just, it's plain stupidity. And now you've put yourself in a position. I'm telling you, he's going to hold out. He's going to hold out because it's too personal now at this point. And he's delusional. You know, he's missed a crap ton of games the last 2 years, and he thinks he deserves a fully guaranteed contract. Bro, your body's breaking down before our eyes because you have to run in order to be effective. This will end ugly.
And the Ravens are in a pickle, too, because now they got a Pro Bowl quarterback in Tyler Huntley.
It's true.
I mean, you got to pay them. He's Pro Bowl.
It's Pro
Bowl quarterback.
That's it. That's it. It's like watching Tyler Hero in a 3-point contest that he didn't belong in. Oh, man. I was never a Channing Crowder fan. Thought he was just another guy on the field. I lost respect for him when he got punched against the Patriots and ran laughing. Oh, that's the lineman thing, right? With the lineman. Yes. Bobby Wagner was released by the Rams. Yes, he was. That's not. I gotta see what was his stats last year. Tell me what Bobby Wagner's stats last year were. Big O about to light it up and smoke out of my garage or gorge. Oh, gorge, and listen to the man, the myth, the legend. Well, thank you. I appreciate you, Willie. Thank you, man. Who else do we have here? Sean, open the panel on the circle, bro. That wrestling platform will be full in a heartbeat, I guarantee you. Open the panel circle? Open the panel on the circle? What does that mean? What does he want you to do? Cap for Life says it. Says, Sean, open panel on the circle, bro. That wrestling platform will be full in a heartbeat, I guarantee you. I don't know what that means.
Next one, he says, have your people call my people.
Oh, I see.
My cousin.
I see. Alpha is in. He says, Dave Hyde doesn't want to exercise a fifth-year option on Tua. I can do an hour explaining how bad that is financially. If Tua's in good or better than in 22, bad enough to get fired. You know, Alf, I got to say, I'm big on giving him the fifth-year option, but Poopart convinced me not to do it. Because I don't know if you heard it, maybe you just got on now, you might want to rewind, but really quickly, he says you're better off holding off because next year it'll be around 32, 36. And so what you can do is you buy yourself another year and you can wait this whole year out that if he's healthy, then you tag him. And yes, it's a little bit more than the fifth year option. But at the same time, you save yourself just in case he does have an injury-riddled year again, then you're not tied to that fifth year, and you can move on. But since you control him anyways, you can then tag him, pay the 36. It goes up from 32 to 36, and then you've bought yourself another year, and then you negotiate the new contract, and in that 6th year, you lower the number anyway. And so you're going to make it a 10 or 15 million, so it buys you a 6th year that you don't have to pay him, and then his big money won't really kick in till the 7th year. So it actually makes a lot of sense what Poopart was saying, that if you hold out and not tag him, you can actually, you might pay a little bit more in 1 year, but it's still manageable. And you think about it, the cap will go up 10 or 15 million next year. So that'll kind of make up for that extra money that it goes up. So I can see both ways. Because I was heavily on giving him the 5th year option for sure. Lock it in there and that's it. Now you do that, and then the 6th year becomes that first year of the fat contract, and then you lower it. You know what I'm saying? So, either way, you still get to the 7th year being the fat year anyways for the salary. So I can see it both ways. You're gambling on that 5th year that if he doesn't have an injury-riddled year, you made the right gamble. But if you don't tag him and he has the injury-riddled year, then you made the right gamble also. You know what I'm saying? So I can see it both ways, actually. On the long term, I can see it both ways. The good thing I would say to Alf and everybody else out there, it has bought the Dolphins a couple of extra years of a window to build around a quarterback without having to pay him the $40-50 million. Because once you get to those kind of numbers, it just gets ridiculous and it becomes harder to build a team around him. So that's the good thing that I would say with that. But you can go both ways, man. And the way Poopart explained it, okay. I don't think. Listen, man. In the end, it's all on Tua, man. He's just got to come back and play the right way, and then everything else will work out. Big O, I still can't get over the train incident that happened a few weeks back. Usually the only train wrecks in Ohio are the Cleveland Browns. Oh, God.
2022 stats. He played in 17 games, so he played all season.
Okay.
He had 140 tackles, which is on par for him. 81 solo, 59 assisted, 6 sacks, which was his high. That's been his career high.
Shit, he played a high level, dude.
Played pretty high level.
How many tackles for losses?
I don't have that on the. Oh wait, sorry, 10 tackles for losses.
That's not bad, actually.
He had 2 interceptions.
Shit, he had a hell of a year.
And,
the old man had a hell of a year, bro.
Seems like he did.
What is he, like a 12, 13-year veteran?
He's drafted in 2012, so it's 10th year and 11th year in the season.
Yeah, it's like 12 or 13 coming up now. Wow. He had a hell of a year. I'd bring Bobby Wagner here. Yes. That's actually really, really good. And you know what? You don't have to give him a 5-7 year deal. You only have to give him a 1 or 2 year deal. That's it. You don't have to sign. You can probably give him 2 1-year deals. He'll probably take that. Non-tax state, South Florida. He wants to win. That's not bad. Those are good stats, dude, for the old. I didn't think he played that well. I mean, I can't say I watched every Rams game, but I remember watching and he was solid. Damn, he had a good year. Wow. Shit. It was good. Alf says Bobby was a stud last year, and I was one of those thinking he was washed. I was dead wrong. But Alf, you're supposed to think he's washed. Do you know how many tackles that guy made in Seattle? Like, yeah, you would think, okay, yeah, this is his decline. I'm with you. I would think, yeah, he was not going to play that good. He played, wow, I didn't think he played that good. I remember seeing a couple of Rams games, and he was productive, but I couldn't tell what kind of year he had because I'm not going to tell you I know every player and every stat, but wow. Holy shit, he played well. Yeah, that would not be a cap-crushing move. And you'd get a really productive linebacker. He's perfect for this system. Perfect for this system. Yeah. I like that. That is one. See, now he's released. See, these are the kind of free agents I like to talk about because he's been released. He's official now. Once we start getting the decisions on who's getting tagged, who's not getting tagged, who's in a contract negotiation, who's not, whatever, then we can start to kind of get into all these names. And this is definitely one of them. I know that the Bills are going to have some issues, but I don't know yet that they've released Edmonds yet. That they haven't come to a deal. And it sounds like he's parting ways, but we got to wait. Now, that one will cost you a little bit more, ladies and gentlemen, okay? That one's going to be a little bit more expensive than Bobby Wagner, okay? But you are getting a younger player for a while. Wow, that is good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Did O mention think he thought it would cost us? No, it won't be a lot. You're not gonna. Bobby can't ask for a ton of cash because of his age already at this point. But I think it's a manageable number is what you can get from him. And again, length is not going to be an issue here. It'll be 2 1-year deals or a 2-year deal or something like that. That's kind of what it's going to be. The guy's been in the league for a while, and he played every game. But that's been that's who he's been. He's been a rock his whole freaking career, dude. His whole career, he's always been a rock for the team, man. What a steal of a player. I was a big fan of his coming out of college. That was one that I hit on. Huge fan of his coming out of college. And he's missed one game in his career. Stupid. That's just ridiculous. That's the kind of guys we need on this team, by the way. We need those kind of guys. It was his rookie season? That's funny. That is funny. No Panizo yet?
I haven't seen him pop in, no.
Oh, man. Yeah, let me see. Send him a link just in case. I don't know. Did I not send it right? Let me see. Maybe I sent it to the wrong one. I thought I sent it to the right one. I thought for sure I sent it to the right one, but I don't know. Normally he's on time. I don't remember his email off the top, but it says Franco on it. How many are you going to have that are going to come up saying Franco on yours? You got 3? Damn. I only know Franco Panizo, and then what was that pizza place when we were young? Franco's. There was like a commercial on WCIX, man. Was it Franco? Was it just called Franco's Pizza? Right? I think. I remember one on 163rd. You remember that, Frank?
I think I remember Franco's. But
wasn't it Franco's Pizza? It was just Franco's Pizza, right? I could swear Big Wilson. I could see Big Wilson.
I don't know. I grew up on Enrico's.
I can see Big Wilson going to a commercial, the Night Owl going to a commercial, playing his piano in between the breaks, telling us nuggets about the movies, and then let's go to a Franco's Pizza commercial. I want to say it was Franco's. Let me see.
Do we have a
Franco's
smash burger
Pizza
here?
and Godfather's Pizza both started pizza on a platter.
Huh.
Well, look at Cap for Life with pizza nuggets.
Yeah. Is there a smash burger in Miami or Broward?
Smash burger. That's in Sports Grill on Mondays.
No, there's a restaurant I guess called that.
Oh, really? Smash burger?
Like smash burgers. Yeah, they just came up with a macaroni and cheese hamburger. So it's a cheeseburger with macaroni and cheese on it, with another layer of cheese to hold the mac and cheese in it.
Not my style.
I don't know, and I don't think so either, because I'm very.
But I am looking forward to the youth fair.
Yeah,
and we're going to have
just keep bringing the fried food.
The what is it? The Cuban waffle sandwich or whatever. It's like, oh man, just crazy stuff.
Just keep the food coming.
Franco's Pizza open 24/7. Was it, Jay? Was it a 24/7 pizza parlor? Get the hell out of here. I remember I went to one Franco's on 163rd. When you pass Krispy Kreme, remember us fat people, we use food as markers for us, as our landmarks. When you're going down 163rd and you're going east, and then you pass Krispy Kreme on your right side, and then the road goes like this, and there's a Kmart. When it would go like that, and it would get to, before you got to 163rd Mall, Franco's Pizza was right there on the right side, just after the Kmart right there. I remember, because I went to it, and I'm pretty sure it was just called Franco's Pizza. Yeah. And I know I lost most of you with Big Wilson and WCIX and Creature Feature and all that kind of good stuff. You've got to be like a really hardcore, long time South Floridian to know the great Big Wilson and Creature Feature. Those were the days, as they said. We got him now. All right, let's go. Let's talk a little football. My man Franco Panizo, ready to go. There he is. How you doing, my man? You doing good?
I'm doing well, brother. I just found out I had a pizza place up here in South Florida. I didn't realize I had one.
Yeah, we had a Franco's because I told Sean, hey, maybe I sent the link wrong. but I only have one Franco's on my thing. So did I send you the link finally? Did you get it?
No, you did. You did. It's just
Okay.
on my phone. My phone's default is Google Chrome, and Google Chrome apparently has issues with StreamYard. It has to be through Safari, and I always forget that. So
No, because I only know two Franco's, you and then Franco's Pizza back in the day here in South Florida that we used to have it all over the place. So I figured that, that's
user
it.
error on my part. User error.
Yeah, it's all good in the hood. And Franco's Pizza was pretty good, by the way. It's pretty damn good. All right, so talk to me about this team this year. Why should I be more jacked up than I was last year?
The team has a little more football to it, a little more soccer skills over the course of the entire starting lineup and maybe some of the first players off the bench. So there's more football to the team. You'll see probably a better style or a more aesthetically pleasing style. Now, will that translate to results and wins and where Inter Miami wants to be? Well, we could talk about that. I think it's going to be a slow build. I think it's going to be another slow start to the season. I don't think that the starting group, the strongest group, is where it needs to be collectively. I think several individuals are still lagging behind a little bit in terms of their preseason preparation, fitness, sharpness, all that. So I think you'll see a slow start to the season, and then we'll see where the chips are in about a month or two. When
if they're a playoff team, who are the goal scorers they must count on? Who must have terrific years for them to get into the playoffs and make some noise?
Campana has to score some goals. You
and
have
stay
to
healthy.
imagine. You have
And
to
stay
imagine
healthy.
Joseph Martinez as well. Because they brought him on board, and they're planning to play with two strikers up top. So those are the two starting strikers. Phil Neville's made much secret about that, but those are the two preferred strikers in the 4-4-2 diamond, which he's used a good bit during this preseason, this recently concluded preseason. So those two guys have to score goals. You have to imagine you're going to get some as well from the midfield. So Nicolas Stefanelli, the Argentine who came over from Europe, you have to imagine he contributes some goals and some assists here and there. So you just need the players in attacking positions and starting attacking positions to deliver. I don't think anyone's going to have, maybe a Gonzalo Higuain type of stretch run where they put the team on their back. So you're going to need a little bit from a number of different players, and I think those three will be the biggest parts from what we know today. Because the team can change come summertime. There could be a signing here, a signing there, a big name, a small name. You never know, but things could change from now until summer.
Who's the midfielder that's going to make the difference? Because for me, that's also been a major weakness, is that they have not had a really good offensive midfielder that can really set people up and maybe even be a threat himself. Do they have that person on the roster right now?
So they don't have a pure number 10 on the roster. That's what the question is. Do they have a midfielder that's interesting? I think Stefanelli is an interesting player. I think he's got, like I said before, one of the players that brings a little bit more football to the group, just in terms of his reading of the game, his understanding of the game, his technique, his flicks, his tricks, his combination play. I like what I've seen from him in the early going. He'll get better as time gets moving, because he'll have more chemistry with the guys. He'll have more games, more minutes. He'll feel sharper. So I think he'll be one of the players to look out for. But is he a guy that's going to pull the strings and then set up other players consistently with through passes? I don't know if I see that in his game. I think he's more of a combination type of guy, someone that can score as well. But he's been playing in that 10 role. It's not a true 10, but he's been playing in the 10 role. So someone to keep an eye on is Nicolas Stefanelli in that midfield.
All right, make sure you follow him on Twitter, by the way, at Franco Panizo, and download and make sure you subscribe to Miami Total Football so you can find out anything and everything about this team. Franco, by the way, is the only media member that has been to every single home game
There
of
it is.
Miami
Thank
since
you, brother.
inception. So he is there all the time. He's like Saguafair. He is everywhere. Make sure you follow him there. So
I appreciate that shout out.
So now, I have thought that most of you, locally, nationally, internationally, have all been kind of full of shit pretty much about Messi coming here. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. He's going to stay. Okay, but now I'm starting to think there's some logic to this, because I was convinced after the World Cup or after the Olympics that he was going to get a big deal from from what's it? No, the World Cup. I'm sorry. He was going to get a big deal from somebody in Europe or something, and maybe even go to the Saudis where Cristiano went. But maybe he's thinking that's bad PR, so I'm not. And he hasn't gotten that deal from Europe, and the season's about to start, and so you're going to be in the summer, and that thing's going to be up. What's up with Messi? Is it actually there actually is some truth to this? This thing really could end up happening?
That's why I told you, you never know. There's a big name that can come in the summer. Look, this is not inside information. I know the rest of Messi the same that we've seen and read, but I've always told you, Big, over the years when you've asked me here on the show, what do I think? I've always said I think Inter Miami is going to make a very serious, strong push to try to bring him on board. If that proves to be enough or not in the end, we'll see. We'll see. But I stand by that statement. I think Inter Miami makes a very serious push, and I think there's a good chance. I think they have a fighting chance in this thing. I don't know if it's
now I believe it because nobody else has given him a contract, and I'm baffled by that. I'm absolutely baffled that he has not signed a new deal.
It's also probably in his interest to drag it out and be in the headlines. Will he? Won't he? He's part of the daily conversation and the international sports conversation. So it's probably as well as his interest not to jump to any decisions and drag it out a little bit. See what offers he gets, and then see where he wants to go. I think that there's a chance that he comes to South Florida. I think Inter Miami needs it because this team, even though it has maybe a little bit more football to it, it doesn't have a whole lot of star power. And I don't know if fans are going to turn out consistently for a team without star power.
They're not turning out for this team at all. They have to win a shitload so you can then bring them out, because then winning will bring them out. But you're right, and Mas knows that. He knows he needs star power in a big-time way. So let me ask you something. Is this going to be a David Beckham thing? Because Sean and I were talking about this, that they'll for sure give him a team, give him an expansion team, and say, here you go, we're going to give you a discounted team. They go for $500 million. Here's yours for 50, and you can build your own team when you're done, and you can be an owner, and you can be a part of the MLS. Will that be a part of the whole mix? Will it be only Mas, or will it also be the league trying to assist in making this happen? Because everybody wins.
What won't they offer him is probably the better question, because listen, it's not only beneficial to Inter Miami if he comes here, it's beneficial to MLS as a whole. The whole tide rises if Lionel Messi comes to South Florida this summer, because now you have so many more eyeballs on the league. Apple TV will be a very happy corporate sponsor for MLS, entering that first year of their new deal. Adidas, which is Messi's lifetime sponsor, they're a sponsor for the league as well. So there's going to be all types of different wrinkles, I'm sure, offered to Messi to try to make him come on board, especially since this is now officially the lead up to the 2026 World Cup, which will be here in the United States as well as in Mexico and Canada. So there will be plenty of reasons to offer him boatloads of cash, all types of incentives, ownership of an MLS team, perhaps. You name it. Talk shows, whatever he's looking for. You can probably find here. They'll make a very sweet deal. Again, will it be too good to pass up on? Only Messi and his family will be able to decide that. But I think Inter Miami and MLS make a very, very serious push.
What's the percentage that he ends up in an Inter Miami uniform this summer?
If you're asking me, I flip the coin. I say 50-50 as of today. 50-50.
Damn it, you waffler.
Hey, if you want to know what I think he's coming. I think he's coming.
Well, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
I think he's coming.
I want some confidence.
Yeah. Well, you got to be realistic. But if you're asking me what I think, yeah, I think he's coming. I think.
So you're going 60-40 now.
If you're asking me what I think, sure, yeah. I would go. I thought you were asking.
All right. 51-49, Sean says. 51-49.
Yeah. Listen. I think he's coming. I think.
I didn't believe it for a second. I didn't think it was realistic. I thought he was going to get a deal, but every day that passes that he doesn't have a deal by the summer now, I think he's coming now. I am getting more and more convinced that Messi will be in an Inter Miami uniform. And by the way, I told my buddy 4 days ago, I said, dude, you should go buy season tickets. Go buy a couple pairs. He goes, why? And I go, because when Messi gets here, you'll be able to sell the second half of the season and make up all your money and a hell of a lot more on top of all of that. Because huh?
It's not a bad gamble. It's not a bad gamble to take there. So
I know.
I'll say this because I don't think it's an insignificant fact. I think it was the World Cup final. But Jorge Mas was either in or close to Messi's entourage and the suite that Messi's group had. I don't think it's coincidental. I don't know how Jorge. There's definitely some talks that have been had. I don't think I know there's tampering rules and all these things that come into play with international signings and all this. But Jorge Mas being in the suite or near Messi's suite with Messi's entourage, when Inter Miami's trying to sign Messi, I mean, you put 2 and 2 together and figure that out. So,
and we all know tampering never goes on in any pro sport whatsoever. Never. Come on. We're the team that had 5 DPs, bro. Come on. These guys are going to do anything they can to win. That's the good thing about the Moss brothers. They're going to do whatever it takes to win, brother. It doesn't matter whatever it is. So I'm telling you, I'm dead wrong on this. I thought it would never happen, but now I'm more and more convinced that it's going to happen because I think he would have had a deal already in place. A guy like him, you're risking injury right now. And then what? And what if you blow out your knee? Then you're not going to get that deal. So to me, this tells me he's coming here already, because I can't imagine. Come on, Franco. Let's think about this. His agent hasn't gotten calls from teams all over the world that the Saudis haven't already called and said, "Hey, man, we'll give him." I mean, what was that report? Like 500 million or something like that? It was like a sick report that the Saudis were offering him. It was the rival team to the one that Ronaldo's playing in. So it's the other team that's part of that Saudi league, that they are the monsters of that league. I don't know the name because I don't follow the Saudi league. But apparently they were willing to give him like $500 million for a couple of years.
Which, I mean, hey, they've got a lot of money. So,
Yeah.
Again, I think there's a chance he comes to – I see him in MLS before I see him in Saudi Arabia.
Me too.
Like if it's Cristiano Ronaldo a little bit more in his profile, but I don't think it fits Messi's profile and who he's been and what he's been his entire career. So, it'll be interesting. The Inter Miami storyline in 2023, any season preview goes with some talk about Messi. Whether it's a little bit of talk, a lot of talk, it's just part of the storyline going into this year. That where there's smoke, there's fire. There's been a lot of smoke so far. Let's see if the fire arrives in the summer.
All right. Well, tell them about Miami Total Football, my friend.
Yeah, you can check out the podcast, YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We do it all. So Miami Total Football, we talk about Inter Miami on a regular basis. Probably provide you with as deep and as thorough an analysis and coverage as you can find here in South Florida. So check it out if you're an Inter Miami fan. Even if you're not, maybe it'll help put you on. I actually just tweeted out one of the messages I got over the off season, the football, the MLS, the soccer off season, from somebody that discovered the pod all the way out in Thailand, and they were like very happy to discover the pod, and they were like so happy to found a passionate and detailed podcast. So check it out if you haven't already, and if you already listened, then thank you for tuning in. We do it for you guys, and thanks to you guys. We were also invited to the media game this week at DriveThink Stadium, which was a lot of fun. My team lost, but it was good fun.
Good stuff as always, Franco. I appreciate you immensely, my brother. Enjoy the football this weekend, my friend. Be good.
Thank you. Talk to you soon, Big O.
You got it. There you go. Franco Panizo, Miami Total Football, MIA Total Football is the podcast. Subscribe to it, download it. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you know when they are going live. And if you follow Franco on Twitter, he usually tweets out when they're going to record the podcast and all that stuff. And then it gets posted right after. I never thought this was going to happen. I never thought. No, it just doesn't sound realistic because he can make so much money, but I don't know how he doesn't have a contract already at this point.
And Brett Dodger in the comments came up with another way we can make this happen.
Okay. Talk to me.
Dolphins, field goal kicker.
Okay.
Can we bring him in and add that to the mix?
So we make Messi the starting forward of the team and the starting kicker of the Dolphins.
Take Jason Sanders out.
I like it. How you doing, sir? How's that?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
What about him? He's playing in Saudi Arabia. No, he signed for money. He went to Saudi, and he's playing the Saudi Arabian League, which is not a good look for him PR-wise, but they're paying him, I believe, in the neighborhood of $100 million a year. Yeah. They have money to burn there. Huh? Right. Yeah. That's what they're doing with Live Golf. So they're trying to get in all kinds of sports now. Who? Yeah, they will. They'll be building the stadium in Miami by the Mel Reese Golf Course. Right. Yes. They'll move it from Fort Lauderdale. It's in Fort Lauderdale now. They'll move it over there once it's ready. It'll be like in 2 years, 2 more years.
AO.
Yes. How's that? I'm sorry. Yes. It'll be packed. Yeah. They'll spend. The Moss brothers will spend.
I need to correct you
Thank you
on the Ronaldo contract.
Oh, what is it? I'm sorry. How much more?
$210 million a year.
Oh, $210 a year. Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. Like, you crazy, bro. That is just crazy. And that's why I thought Messi was going to get a deal somewhere else. I really thought he would end up somewhere else because, and here in the MLS, they can't afford that kind of money. But man, it's crazy. Not many teams can afford him. You're right, Brett. That is a salary that is absolute. But he also will pay for himself in a way because he's going to sell the second you sign him. My God, let me just warn you this. Let me tell you ahead of time what's going to happen in South Florida if Messi signs here. The number 1 jersey in town will not be Tyreek Hill or Tua. It will be Messi. Everybody will want a Messi jersey. Men, women, kids, Americans, international people, people from Central and South America, Caribbean, you name it. Why? Because that's the biggest name in the world in sports. So that's the thing that, when you think about it, Messi is a guy that is an international name. So the second you sign him, let me tell you something. That will be the number 1 jersey in South Florida. And then that jersey, that Inter Miami Messi jersey, you're going to find it in Brazil, in Argentina, in Colombia, in Europe, all over the place, because all of a sudden his name, your brand, becomes his name. Yes, that's right. So you're going to – it's just an amazing thing what they're doing. Whoever picks him up, you're also picking up a marketing machine in the process. So that's where you are going to get in return. And then you get more viewers. So you get to charge more for commercials. You're going to charge more. Well, by the way, get ready to pay more for your seats and your club seats and all that kind of stuff. That's why I told my buddy 3 days ago, and he goes, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll buy a couple of tickets to go see the team. I go, bro, you got money. Go buy a couple of season pairs. And he goes, why would I do that? And I go, because when Messi gets here, those tickets are going to be worth a fortune, bro. You're going to be able to sell them 8 times over. People are going to come from overseas to come see Messi. Okay? People are going to come. Fans are going to be in Mexico, and they're going to fly over to hang out in South Florida for a week and to catch a game with Messi there. You get to see one of the greatest players in the history of the entire game. That's what it is. Like nobody on the Dolphins, well, maybe Tyreek might be listed as one of the greatest Dolphins of all time. I don't know yet. Right now, I mean, it's only 1 season. You're going to need several. But think about this. The second the guy steps on your pitch, you have one of the 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever you want to argue, greatest players to ever play the one single game that is played all over the world. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Messi hamburger, yeah. No, definitely. Yes, definitely. No doubt about that. All right, we got to wrap it up here on the show. We thank Alan Poopart. We thank Steve Calabro. We thank Franco Panizo. As always, we thank the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley. We thank the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro. They are a proud sponsor of our program, Will and Mike. They do great work, folks. I've been telling you about our landscaping at our home, and we're going to put together a video this weekend, and we'll show you a little bit more of our backyard and some of the things that we're doing. And I'm telling you, synthetic turf, irrigation design, outdoor lighting, landscape design, tree trimming and removals. Please call my friends at Cutter's Edge Pro in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, 954-472-0622. Once again, you can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. I still have one pair of tickets left for the Drone Racing League. Tyreek Hill is going to be there on Saturday. I'm going to be there too. So if you're going or you happen to win tickets, make sure you give me a shout out there. Maybe we can meet and reach out to me on my DMs there. Frankie, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, Alex says jersey sales alone. Yep, I'm with you there, man. How's that?
With Inter Miami, the way they do the different colors and the different kits, you're going to have so many different jerseys that they're going to be selling.
I'm telling you, it'll be the number one. It'll be all over South Florida.
Easily.
Everybody will be wearing a Messi jersey. It'll be the most stylish thing to wear. An Inter Miami Messi jersey will be the thing that every kid is going to be asking for. Adults, guys are going to want to wear it all the time. Women are going to want to wear it all the time. I'm telling you, that alone in itself is going to be just so monstrous. And I really think he's coming because of what I've told you over and over again. I was convinced he would already have a contract, and I've been dead ass wrong about this. Dead ass wrong. Really is amazing to me. All right, we're out of here. We will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. as always, live from Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby. We'll be hanging out with the boys out there at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Come on out and join us, please. Would love to meet you out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.